Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. Is it? I literally can't tell if it's on. I've never had a more complicated start to a live stream. Is it not on? Is it still not on? Okay. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. Holy crap. Okay. I it's the stream key thing. I haven't had to do that in like 5 years. Like like why? Okay. Well, there we go. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so let's see. Assuming that it's actually going, let's see. Let's take a little double check, make sure it's actually real. Okay. Well, I I don't even see a stream. Honestly, like I do not even see a stream happening right now. Like on my channel. What? What the hell? What? Oh shit. Take a What? This is not me. This has never happened to me before. What is this? I've been sent into another universe. So wait a second. Hang on a second. What? Whoa, 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 whoa! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Okay. Um. Wait. No way. Okay. Wait. What does it say? Warning: this stream. What? What is what is it warning this stream, but it's not telling me what else about this stream. Okay. Yeah, sure. I don't care if it's lower than the recommended bitrate. I do not care. I want to know why I can't get the people on here heard. Why does it say, how did this call go? Is that real? That is not real. That is not actually what is on my screen right now. What is happening? That's just not what's on my screen. It is not showing what is on my screen. Um, what if I switch to just the camera? Let's see. Okay, so that works. Yeah, I haven't had problems like this before. This is insane. Okay, now let's see if we could add them back in, and I'm going to test to make sure that the main screen capture actually works. Okay, so okay, wait. Cursed emu lore. Oh. Yeah, 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 go for it. I
I
still don't think
flashback
this is
60
any.
years. We've got
Oh,
Chala Jack. Uh, pioneer of that part of the bush, one of the first settlers in that area, and he always told my dad, son, if ever you get charged by an emu, you gotta stand your ground because an emu will always dodge away at the last second.
hear you
It'll
on the
always
stream.
swerve off. Oh my god! I'm awful.
The audio is
Told you
back.
what, Sam? Okay,
There
it
you
seems
go.
like
You got
it seems
caught during
like
emu
The
moment.
emu story.
seems like the emu law
Well, I'm not
was the
starting again,
magical
so yous aren't getting the full
required to
What the
restore
hell?
all you to the stream.
I
So thank you very
I
much.
can start again if you want.
You know,
Just
I-
like
no,
forget
you
about
know
the
you have
conlangs.
to cast the same magic spell twice. Maybe we'll
Just-
undo the
just
effect. So I would not risk
Forget
that.
about the conlangs.
Yeah,
only
yeah.
talk about emus.
yeah, just
Like-
nonstop
Yeah.
emu lore. Welcome to Emu Lore Book Club tonight.
The birds have taken over this stream.
with our special guests, the winners of the Cursed Conlang Circus 3.
Of course.
Makes sense to me. Anyway, so assuming that it works, which it appears that people are saying that it works, hello, welcome to
does
the most
seem to be
complicated setup to a live stream I've had to do since the very first time I've live streamed.
Only took half an hour.
Yeah, only took half an hour. I mean, no. We were definitely supposed to start at 6:30. Yeah, that was the plan all along.
Yeah, that was from the
Yeah.
start.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. All along. Anyway, yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nga. Do you guys want to go along the line? Let people know who you are. Perhaps beginning with Averin.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So I'm Everin. I created the conlang New Atlantean. I think there was another conlang just Atlantean, so the new is
Yes.
helpful for differentiation. I'm I don't know what you want me to tell about myself.
That I don't know. You made New Atlantean.
Whatever you want to.
There you go. Very nice. All right. Next, if we can go graphically down the line, left to right, if you want. Next, Richard III.
Sweet. Yes. Hi. I'm Richard. I go by many different names, so I guess for now just call me Richard. And I made Gobble Gob.
Very nice. Very nice. And then next, I think that's Babalingua. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, hi. My channel's Babalingua. I made a Basque whale pigeon.
Indeed, you did. Very fitting for my current Basque location.
I did not know. I don't think I knew at the time that you were going to be in Basque country.
It was blatant bribery, you know it.
Yeah.
All right, and then
Rotten from the
Rhea.
G'day, my name's Raya. I run Raya's Language Academy. I made Atlantean with no new, just Atlantean. I'm also the actor behind Graham Handcrutch, and I will finish the emu story later.
Oh, I'm glad. And then we got Dorian.
Hello, I'm Dorian. I made Operation Diplomacy, the pigeon-based language. I can't believe I'm on the stream.
Welcome to the stream.
That's how
You
I
got-
feel as well.
That's how I feel.
This is like being invited to like a celebrity talk show for me.
We're sat on the red carpet barefoot.
Yeah,
Props
that's
and
right.
stocks.
This beautiful
Winston
experience
in
of me
chat.
desperately clamoring to get OBS working is the epitome of a luxurious professional studio experience.
Digital slapstick.
Yeah. Certified down the hotspot records. And then of course Eternal. We all
I
all
guess
know
I made the voting form.
Yeah, you made the vote.
Yeah. Woo!
Yay.
Yeah, there you go. And then Zoe.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
I'm Zoe.
Hi.
No
Needs no
further
introduction.
intro
What?
needed.
Zoe needs no introduction.
Nah, there you
Oh,
go.
well, I just got one.
Did
Got
you?
him.
When?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
Pigeon
yeah,
just said,
mention.
Oh, why,
Yeah.
yeah, mention.
Oh, why, yeah.
That's Zoe, how did you make Oh, why, yeah?
How did I make oh why yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you see, there's just a lot of sounds, and I put them together. Was that a genuine question?
No, I was
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, that I just put a lot of sounds together could describe the vast majority of conlangs here. With the
Well,
exception
yeah,
of the-
exactly.
of the penguin one. Penguin,
Yeah.
pigeon.
You
What?
can-
Oh,
except for the
Pigeon
pigeons.
one. Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm doing next year now.
Just cobbling
Watch me
together.
go to
Whenever-
Antarctica to film myself trying to grab a penguin.
Oh yeah, okay. So the chat. Whenever I think of oh yeah, I think of that spinning cat meme. That was like so conveniently timed, because like I made that video, and then like I want to say like a couple weeks later, that thing became a meme. That yeah, or whatever.
Oh.
So it kept
That was
popping up, and then I kept thinking it was very well timed.
I think I've
That's
ever
beautiful.
seen that meme.
Oh, you might have. It's been going around.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll look it up after the stream.
Bouncing cat dot gif.
Sure.
So yeah, here we are live, live from various locations around the world. And yes, so we did the Curse Conlang Circus 3. It happened. It was released a little over a month ago, and these fine people here came out on top based on both the democratic round 1 voting and then the judging done by the various people in the judging chat. Yeah, so there was the two main texts that you could have translated, and on I know that Ray was asking about the origin of the Agama Shuya text. For anyone in the server, or I mean anyone who's on the live chat right now who is unaware of that origin story, I mean it was, you know how there's like that YouTube channel called Starve Harv, where like history articles on Wikipedia are put through like layers of Google Translate. It's basically that, but for the rules of the Discord server, and the whole Harkagama Shuya blah 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 is it, like all of that was the end result of that.
Specifically, the input was the rules of the Discord server.
Yeah, the rules of the Discord server, and that and obviously that's like a big text, and so it was condensed down into the highlights, which included Agama Shuya and his son Gu Saba, which is like the fact that the server's name is Agma Schwa and the Children of Nga, and through the layers of translation that became Agama Shuya and his son Gu Saba.
Yep.
I thought it was like someone had come up with mythological names for you.
Thought at first
That's
also.
kind of what it's turned into in the canon of the Minecraft server.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shahrazad is like telling a story about you.
Good.
Oh
I
my
did
God.
love the evil wizard angle.
I thought I was an actual.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, when I
Named it
appeared in the
Goosaba.
Gobbo Gob video as just this evil wizard who just that
True.
Hero Forge like figure of myself was beautiful. That was legendary.
I actually I asked Baba Lingua for feedback. I was like, "Does this look right?" Like, I don't know.
You're like, you've seen him in
got a
real life.
random-
Well, is this accurate?
Yeah.
I got a random DM that was just like, "Hey, is this a good idea?" It was just this random hero forge, like evil wizard Agma. It was just
Oh
like,
my
holy
god.
shit.
No, I was so
God.
afraid that I was like, is this funny or would this just make Agma uncomfortable? Like, I don't know. Like, like I don't know what it would be.
It was funny.
Thank you.
It was certainly I liked that. I was not expecting like because I had no idea how specific Hero Forge allows you to turn those like character models. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, a
I was
wizard
surprised.
and a goblin, and then suddenly it was me, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I did like a double take because I've messed about in Hero Forge for hours before and without being able to really get to anything that felt accurate enough to my vision. And then
Yeah,
Agma Schwa was just there.
He wouldn't die. He really
I've been
was.
using Hero Forge like since before it had color, so like I'm very used to like the
Same.
website.
I see.
Before it had color, how long has Hero Forge existed? Like the 1940s?
Yeah.
You know, before they invented color, I was on Hero Forge.
Oh my god.
Oh wait,
was
oh I
on
just
Hero
noticed.
Forge Black and White.
Wait, in the chat, Half Metal Alchemist. He's my friend. He inspired Gobbo Gob, so say hi to him.
Hello,
Hello.
Half Metal Alchemist. Congratulations for the circumstances that you've caused here.
Circumstances.
We thank and curse you for your accomplishments here today.
And yeah, and also to anyone in like the live chat or whatever, you can ask the winners questions and stuff as we go along because we may run out of things
I have
to
a
say.
question actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I brought this up in the video when we were watching the video or whether that came up in the video, but was Operation Diplomacy inspired by the IP over avian carriers protocol? The like
what?
RFC 1149. This thing here, the RFC for IP over avian carriers.
I mean, given that I've never seen this before in my life,
Potentially.
Actually not.
This was like, for the people who don't know what any of this is, RFC stands for Request for Comments. It's basically how new web standards get made, you know, HTML, CSS, all of that. Well, those are living standards, those are a bit different, but anything around the internet, like the basic protocols. IP is a very low level, very basic internet protocol that the entire internet runs on, basically. And this was a joke proposal. It says April 1990.
Oh, I
specifically,
see.
1st of
Yeah.
April
It's an
1990, and
April
this
Fool's
was a
joke.
Love
protocol that
those.
basically
All of
proposed
those.
printing out IP datagrams on paper and sending them via, I think, pigeons or something. And then for them to be read in back to the computer and the destination. And it has the maximum transmission unit, which is how much data you can send in one packet. Is specified in milligrams instead of like bytes.
that's
Ah.
IP of avian carriers, which is what reminded me of.
That's beautiful. So I assume the answer is no, Dorian.
I was about to say that too.
no, I had absolutely no idea.
No, the answer
I
is
cited my
yes.
two main sources of inspiration in the credits on the video,
The
but
The answer was yes. Dorian was inspired spiritually by it.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
yeah. Osmosis somehow.
possessed
It
by
was
the
proximate.
old gods of prank.
The pigeon gods.
By the way, I've got to go to work in 5 minutes, so
Actually,
I'll probably be
I'll put
hopping
the
off
link
soon.
into the
Oh,
RFC
right.
in chat in case anyone wants to take a look.
No.
Babbling lingua.
All right. Well, if Babalingua has limited time, question for Babalingua, like for the Basque whale pigeon, so it didn't have anything to do with me being in the Basque country, but I presume it did have. What was the primary inspiration? That study about the whale linguistic studies that you like showed in there? Was that like the reason you chose that as your topic?
I think somebody in my Discord, it might have been Sawton, but someone in my Discord
Ah.
server sent a paper about like whale communication, where they came out with like a phonetic alphabet of
Oh,
sperm
yeah.
whale clicks. I have no
Yeah.
idea how scientifically accurate it is or anything, but there's all those memes about like Basque pigeons. So I was like, hey, it'd be funny if they just made a pigeon with the whales, and that was the general idea.
Beautiful.
I think it was
Also-
Jeff Lindsay put that in one of his videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I have a question too. When did you conceive of like the wall language that you use in the relay? Because I found that one a lot more disturbing than Basque.
Yeah, I
wallpaper.
agree.
I started making it like around the time that I joined the relay.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It was an idea I'd been playing around with a little bit because my dog chewed like a hole through my wall. I was like, hey, it'd be funny to I covered it with paper and I mapped out like a bunch of like a proto language in like different regions on my wall. I thought it'd be funny to make a language out of it, and then I joined the relay and I kind of sped around making a conlang out of it, mostly on the bus.
Uh-huh.
There
Is
you
your
go.
dog a cookie cutter shark?
No,
imagining
she's just anxious.
Pepper linguist scrawling on the walls like Rat Man.
I can send photos later of
Yes, Soton, this is live.
the language family.
Oh,
actually, it's just no. No, it's actually
No.
recorded, and I predict that you would
Oh, yeah,
ask
hi,
that
Sutton.
question at this exact
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait,
exactly.
Sutton, were you the one who sent the whale paper?
time. I could imagine Soton sending that.
That's
Sutton sends a lot of papers.
Yeah,
Good.
he has
That
a lot of
reminds me
cool
of
fun
that.
facts.
That reminds me of that one time when for what was it, Portuguese, I looked up in like an ornithology paper, like respiratory mechanics in chickens of geese by J.H. Brackenbury from like the 70s or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Good old J.H.
I love
Brackenbury.
bird respiration.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh
the
man.
Portugoose is legendary.
God, the goddamn goose phonations. Like I think that took most of the work was just trying to make sense of any of that in Pratt.
Yeah, Pratt. That was a beautiful experience in Pratt. Oh god. The Portuguese video is the most popular video from 2024 on the channel. It got like twice as many views as the circus. Yeah,
Nice.
got him.
Just
I
go
think
to
the
shop.
Bait and switch video to send to your friends. Like, hey, new romance language.
Yeah.
Psych, it's goose.
Yeah.
It's goose.
Yeah.
Not Portuguese, it's Portugoose.
That's why I had an original thumbnail on there for the first week that was like a total bait and switch clickbait. I specifically designed it to look kind of like one of Lingo Lizard's thumbnails, and I just kept it that way for a week.
I remember that.
And then I changed it to the actual Portuguese one after the main wall of text went away.
You got me with that. You fully got me with that when I saw it in there.
I did show
gotta
several
go
of
to
my
work
friends.
now.
Ah,
Goodbye.
Oh, no.
rest in
Bye
heaven.
bye,
Final
babbling
thoughts,
lingua.
Bye.
Oh, I was gonna say bye.
And just like that.
Oh, my husband returned from the war.
He's gone.
What kind of a man would perform such deeds?
Now we can just cry for the next 45 minutes. Let's all just cry.
Yeah, that's the rest
Yeah,
of the stream.
that's the stream.
This is what we
I'm gonna be real,
this is
guys,
what
I
we
didn't
planned.
know
We're
that was
starting at
Babelingua.
6:30 and crying after Babelingua leaves.
Yeah. This is your regularly scheduled programming. Don't worry about
We
it.
do this every week.
Yeah. This totally isn't the first live stream I've done in like several months.
No, this is the
weekly
fourth. What are you talking about?
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the 4th today.
It is the 4th. Yeah, it is the 4th live stream this month. This
know what?
week, even.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna like start spamming live streams. I'm gonna live stream every mundane moment of my life for the next like month, and so there will be 4 live streams a day.
Okay.
And
Oh,
nobody
vlogging,
can
Okay.
but
That's
it's
what they
Oh.
made TikTok Live
Yeah, this is
for.
how we found out,
Oh,
like, Agma Schwa's becoming a vlogger.
Log with an Agma at the beginning.
Log.
Vlog.
good.
Those are difficult. That's a difficult consonant cluster to
Vlog.
pronounce.
Yeah,
Log.
Chugging on my Fanta.
Vlog.
I kind of want to do that now
It's-
in something, just like a
Yeah.
nga followed by dark L consonant cluster, like
Co-articulated.
Mwah.
yeah,
Log.
co-articulated.
Log.
Mwah.
Log.
Shit. Log.
Funny sound. Yeah. I really did. I wanted to do like while I was out in Basque Country, I really wanted to do like a sort of regular like video, maybe on my second channel, just kind of recapping like my attempts to learn some Basque while I'm out here. But I have not
Oh, yeah.
learned as much Basque as I would have hoped, because most of the people out here don't want to speak Basque. They're like, to me, like they're speaking Basque to each other. And then I walk up and I'm like, hey, I want to practice some Basque.
Oh.
And they're like, no, you don't. No. And I'm like,
Really?
oh,
That's
okay.
interesting, huh?
I'm like,
That'll
okay.
happen.
Yeah. So
Oh, look at
there
this
you
poor
go.
bright young soul. All the
Yeah.
hope's still in his eyes.
Robbing
Go
me
away,
of
please,
my
while you still can.
hopes and dreams.
God.
Yeah, so we'll see. Is my Spanish improving instead? I mean, so I already spoke like Mexican/United States Spanish pretty well, and then I got here and Spain Spanish is quite different. And so that made me feel like I was much worse at Spanish in general than I actually was. But now I've kind of been adapting to Spain Spanish quite a bit. But for a while it was a little rough. Good times.
If you spoke Mexican Spanish in Spain, did people think that you were Mexican?
I maybe they never said that to me. They were never like, "Oh, are you from Mexico?" They kind of roast me sometimes about it. Like one time I like bought something from a store at a cafe, and I had paid for it and then continued to just like chill at the cafe for like another 30 minutes or so before I left. And so I was walking away, and then and I said to the lady as I was walking away, I said, "Ya te pagué." And then the lady laughed and she was like, "Haha, you sound like a little kid." I was like, "What?" What?
Whoa.
It was pretty. I was like, "What did you just say?"
Oh.
Yeah, and because apparently, and she was like, "Te has pagado," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that." And so things like that have happened. But I don't know. No one has specifically said you sound Mexican, but there have been occasional just like actual insults. So there's that.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, it's entertaining in the moment, and then I walk away and I think about it a second, and I'm like, that was actually kind of mean. What the hell? But yeah.
Says a lot about Spanish sociolinguistics.
Yeah. I mean, the Real Academia is is housed in Spain, right? So they gotta have more power here over people's conception of like
Christ.
prescriptivism, you know.
This is quite the image.
What is the image? Oh God, is this from Babalingua? Oh, yep, the remains of the
Yeah,
language
the,
family
the
map.
wall.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch the
The
complete.
Ratman scrolls.
Oh my god.
I didn't
Oh,
watch the
God.
complete conlang relay, so I have no idea what this is.
It's the wall. Wasn't it? Is it like it was like northeast
wall.
wall or something?
Wall. Lower east wall.
Lower
East
east,
wall.
right.
Lower east wall. Yeah.
Lower East Wall.
And it's just
Gone from Lower
actually
East
written
Wall.
on probably the lower east section of this wall. I don't know what cardinal direction this is facing.
Right.
What you
That's
can't tell
just
from
actually
this.
cursed, I think.
It's giving southwest.
Yeah, just from the vibes I'm getting there. I don't know if that's
Listen, I
actually
played
east.
GeoGuessr, and I don't know how you pulled that one out.
This is southwest vibes. Southwest, let's go.
I've watched one white person's video on feng shui. I'm sure I can work this out.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God damn it.
Comment from Pigeon. Zoe, will you make Owayaya 2 or will
Oh.
you move on to another anthropomorphic handkerchiefs or something?
Anthropomorphic handkerchiefs.
Oh my god.
I can't say anthropomorphic handkerchiefs has been in my immediate plan
Really?
for the next couple months. But you know, that sounds like
Is it now?
that sounds unhinged. I'm here for it.
It could be one of the
does sound fun.
dimensions. It could be canon.
Yeah,
There you
Yeah.
go.
it could be. Nothing isn't canon until it isn't.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, there
God.
you go. You can only uncanon things in a multiverse.
That's literally like that's the thing I've been trying to figure out because like I've had people just like make stuff and they'll send it to me and they're like, "Can this be canon?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know.
Just
I
say,
didn't
decline
think
to
this would
answer
happen."
question.
I don't know because I don't want to just say no. Like that's mean.
Yeah.
But there comes
But
the
also, it's
point
like
where I
your
need to
lore,
like
though.
that. Yeah, so it's really awkward because I don't. I want to be very like open about that stuff. I mean, it's literally a multiverse. Like the whole point is that probably anything could happen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do about that and like where
I
the
could
lines
kind
get
of
drawn.
see it
But
becoming a little bit like the SCP Foundation, like the
yeah,
fact that there's like different numbers for each dimension. Like people could make like, hey, this is
yeah.
a dimension, and just like name it.
Yeah. But the thing is, when people have dimensions that I've already made that I'm going to be releasing soon, they
Oh,
like
true.
they name drop one, and I'm like, oh, you can't have that one. Sorry.
Like pick a different number,
Yep.
please. Just-
No, literally, I'm like, oh wait, no, I already made that one, and I chose those numbers for particular reasons. Like,
I mean, Eternal and we've got the Gambian Holiday Wiki, and that also has
oh
like,
yeah,
a series of universes that are all along like a specific coordinate plane, and that's
Yeah.
easier to manage because the main one is a specific one, and then other ones like
Yeah.
are external to that, and like they can affect the other ones, but usually all the cursed stuff that's happening in the Gambian Holiday universe is in the negative 17i.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, I get it. Also, certified Rick and Morty moment, like the like dimension C137, right?
yeah.
Beautiful. I do have a
I've
question
seen
related to
the-
Zoe.
Ah.
Sorry. I was a so you already had like that multiverse, like that creative project going,
Mm.
but did you make Zoe specifically to be one? I mean, did you make Oaya specifically to be one of the languages in that world, or what?
Well, okay, so I did technically already have like the multiverse thing idea beforehand, but it was like June I started working on it.
I see.
Before I started working on the CCC, and like so I had made the Locati Portals logo and like that animation and stuff, and I was like, I want my next album to be like a concept album that's like around like, you know, going to these different multiverses. different dimensions in the multiverse. Excuse me. So in a way, I kind of already I was like, oh, all the conlangs that I have made and the ones that I will make will contribute to this. But then CCC3 was started getting in my consciousness. Early July is when I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. So I kind of shifted gears a little bit. Oh yeah, did exist in a very broad sense. I wanted a polysynthetic language with Polynesian type phonology, but that was kind of it. So I did make it for that specifically. I technically didn't make the dimension stuff for that, and I did repurpose it, but it never had existed before publicly yet. I was already planning on doing it. So
I see. So it was just very convenient timing, essentially.
It was convenient timing. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's wild to me that you managed to put that together in a couple of months.
Well, I'm
even just
unemployed.
Same.
Yeah, well, so am I, but I can't do that.
No, I mean, yeah, that's fair. I just, I have always had a very I do not stop working. It's kind of a problem. So I was like, you know what? I was already wanting to do this thing, and it lined up with the Curse Conlang Circus. So I was like, I'm just gonna put 125% of my effort into it, because I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do. And I'm trying to follow up on it, and I'm already I don't know, 4 months in, and I'm not even close to what I did then. So I think I just had I was just on a sugar high or something. I don't know.
I get that. I really feel that.
Yeah. It's again, just all the editing that went into that must have been an incredible amount of patience, or just tunnel vision level of focus that I struggle to get.
It was definitely tunnel vision level focus, because I don't have that focus anymore, and I'm really trying to keep it up.
I relate. Sometimes I have waves where I could just do one single thing for a whole day. Sometimes I'll just get bogged down into the 20 different projects I sort of have going on and realize I didn't actually get anything at all done. So
yeah.
Same.
Good times.
I always have a million projects unfinished, and then I'll put 1% work into one of them or something, but that means they're all sitting somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. It's
yeah, absolutely.
I was like, oh yeah, January is a bad month for the algorithm anyway. I'll just finish my comic, and so I successfully did. I finished chapter 2 of my comic, which yay, happy ending. It's not the end of the story; it's the end of the chapter. Okay, there's much more to be done, but all the while I kept getting interrupted by so many cool ideas. Eternal and I are making another curse language. They're not going to disclose any info about that, but that so many other things have been happening in the meantime that I just had to constantly just bat away different situations, but no, I'm finishing the comic, please, I beg of you, world, universe, let me do this. Let me have this one thing. It was rough, but it happened. It actually happened.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm trying to motivate myself to get back into actually editing the 27 unedited language videos I've got on the conveyor belt. But I've been busy for the last 2 days visiting the state archives, trying to research a man who was not famous, just some random guy who died a long time ago.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
I feel like that's a new sentence, in the world. No one's ever said that.
Novel utterance.
Yeah.
Novel utterances. I make a lot of those, I think.
Well, what is your novel utterance per day rate? Just
That's a
calculate
great
how many
question.
sentences a day you say that have never been said before.
Yeah.
INUPD.
Nooped.
Nooped.
I wish when you died you like got a list of this stuff, like the stats page in Minecraft.
Yeah, your
Maybe you
scoreboard.
do.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
score-
Who knows?
We don't know
We'll
for
see.
sure.
Really hope.
I want to know where I rank for novel utterances.
the afterlife is
Spotify
just a
Wrapped.
never-ending just credit scene
Spotify
of
Wrapped.
stats. You just get to watch stats for eternity.
Oh
Now
my
that's the
god.
dream. That's the dream.
Oh my god.
Oh god. There are a couple questions that have piled up over the course of a couple minutes. Bop Till You Flop says, "What kind of phonology do you want to see more like in the CCC4?" Well, I mean, my answer would be that a cursed phonology doesn't necessarily make for a cursed language. Like, it has to be more than that, so I would say do
Yeah.
wacky things with the language itself with any phonology that you want.
Yeah.
That's definitely my answer. Like when I was watching CCC2, I was annoyed that everyone was like, the phonemes are bruh, kla, ra, and then it's like, oh my god, this is every language. So I was very happy when I saw OAIA, and it was like, which didn't rely on phonology at all to make it cursed. Like it was like very phonesthetically like pleasing, but but the rest of the language was super cursed.
I feel like phonology is the front
So-
man of a conlang.
True.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
My
kind of.
answer is I mostly don't care, but no minimalistic languages because I'm frankly tired of them. They're all the same.
I think
All
But yeah,
the Tokipona.
I think
version.
Basque whale
But I-
pigeon is a great example though of like having a quote curse phonology that works because it fits in with the theme of like what the language is doing and like what it's going for.
Yeah.
So I personally
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
like if you have a curse phonology, like it needs to make sense in order to like really hit and not just feel a little bit more superficial than it needs to be. I don't know
Yeah,
though, because
yeah.
like obviously there's a lot of humor still in the like what was that Esperanto too that was like
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
So I don't know. It's I guess it's always a case by case basis,
Like
but
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's inherently a bad thing, but like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it could be overdone if you don't put thought into it.
Yeah,
It's got to
yeah.
go
It's
beyond
entirely
just that. You
situationally
need
based.
structure to it.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
it's like
quite
if
frankly, I
it's
think
on
the inventory for my language is
you
blessed
go.
rather than cursed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it's got a cursed phonology, there should be some kind of I don't know, canonical lore or like just like thematic vibe based tie with the rest of the cursedness. Yeah.
Yeah, I implemented the weird phonemes through Graham Hancock's superiority complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, these are the sounds that are simply too difficult for you to pronounce.
Oh yeah.
See, but then there's more to it already, because the humor isn't solely coming from
Oh,
how
Oh,
weird
and
is
that
this?
actually reminds me of something. Like, and this is, in my opinion, a very underrated language in the CCC2. Totally Not English. Like, remember the language with all like the bots, like
Yes.
like the overly happy background music. They kind of gaslit a phoneme into existence. They said the glottal approximant, which is like
Yeah,
it
what?
is a real thing. Like it's the
Jan
creepy
Misali
voice
reference.
approximant. Like the like that's a real sound, but they didn't pronounce it that way, and they also used a different symbol. So it was almost like what? Yeah, totally. This phoneme exists. What are you guys talking about? And I think that's very funny in
Yeah.
phonology. Like just to pretend something
Although-
exists that doesn't.
Pretty much all of the cursed languages that I've worked on have a cursed phonology that is with the express purpose of causing as much pain and suffering as eventually.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like the first ones that the like I was working on to be specifically cursed was there was the rabid one, like for like Rayman Raving
Yeah.
Rabbids, like the Rabbids.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
that one, you know, I did that whole video about it, justifying like what the sounds were based on what was present in the game,
Yeah.
and that ended up being nightmarish.
Mhm.
I will
And
say I used the Rabid Lang as a reference as I was making Gobbo Gob, which like I mean you
I
could probably
did
still do
wonder that.
but like yeah. Like I didn't copy it completely, but I definitely was like, okay, how do I make a phonology like only using like bug and like similar sounds? Like how do I do that? So.
Yeah, and when I did that, it was I was both taking the sounds that existed in the Rabbids games, and then I had also just finished taking a semester of like Mandarin Chinese, and then I was like, you know what if I just combined the sounds that the Rabbids have been shown to make with just like the Mandarin tones and just go from there.
Mm,
That
mhm.
was pretty much it.
Beautiful
And then
concept.
and then Hyper Pirate, of
Very
course,
fun.
was just like, you know, pirates, they go arg.
Hyper
What
Pirate,
if the phonology was just all the R's that exist on the IPA?
Yeah.
Hyper Pirate hit me like a sledgehammer when I watched it. I like what's it called? I saw like Hyper Pirate and I'm like, okay, it's gonna have like a lot of arg and yo ho ho and stuff like that. I didn't
Yeah.
expect you to use every single rhotic in the IPA. Like that was terrifying.
Yes. Yep.
Rabid has to be one of my favorites personally. I just love the way that it sounds. It's so stupid.
Same.
My favorite probably at this point is Ultra French, but only because the Ultra French grammar at this point is 79 pages.
Yeah.
Ultra French is
I
glorious.
sat my 13-year-old brother down to watch that one with me. I was like, "You've learned French
In
at
case
school.
anyone hasn't seen the
Come
grammar
here,
yet,
child.
I'll put
This
it
is
here.
normal."
That's where the up-to-date version is typically.
Oh, thank you.
Ultra French is amazing. And On One and Eternal have like quadrupled the size of what it was since the original showcase. It's a beautiful. It
That's
literally
just how
needs like
regular
another
French sounds
showcase.
to me in my brain.
Yeah, we're planning
Yeah.
to do it.
Oh man. Oh yeah, it's been posted in the live chat. Oh god.
79 pages. Yep.
Wow.
Someone asked
Absolutely.
me how to pick up a pigeon.
Yeah.
LOL asks, how do I learn to grab a pigeon like that?
Yeah. How do you
Um,
grab a pigeon like that?
How do you grab a
Okay,
pigeon
well-
like that, Dorian? What the fuck?
I'm okay. I'm gonna preface this by saying, obviously, don't go out and do this without doing further research, and don't grab animals, if you can help it, unless you're going to save them stress down the line, because it's a very stressful experience to be abducted by an alien giant.
Oh, it is?
I
Yeah,
didn't
have you
mind
not
it.
before, dude?
Well,
I mean, I can't
Moving
say
on.
The way
every
that
day,
actually
but-
got me to crack up.
Hell, this loser hasn't even been abducted by alien giants. But no. You have to sort of form a C shape with your hand. And it's sort of patience, precision, and peanuts, let's be real. And if you sort of get their attention with some food on the floor, get a lot of them in front of you, it helps if there's a big crowd of them. And sort of get the one that you're after right in front of you, if you can sort of coax it close, which is annoying because the injured ones, which the ones I'm typically trying to grab, are less bold because they're in pain, so they tend to stay at the back, and that's exactly what you don't want them to do. But if you've got it in front of you, you can drop sort of some of the seed on top of it to get you feeling of things hitting its back,
Oh
sort
my
of, you know, to
Mm.
give yourself like an extra second before it figures out what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And then you just have to lean down and pin that C-shaped hand right over it, basically as swiftly as you can, and then keep the wings pinned to the sides so that it can't flap around and potentially injure itself. Um,
So there is a bit of a trick to this.
Yeah.
yeah, there is a bit of a trick to this. But the ones that I
That's a bit of a
were in the video, I'm gonna debunk the footage by saying this, but they were so friendly. They were more so
Oh,
than
yeah.
I'm used to pigeons typically being. They were so happy to just be there on the floor. I just leant down very casually and sort of grabbed it, and it didn't even fuss.
That's great,
quite
though.
unusual. But yeah, it was fantastic for the viewing experience, and honestly, if you could find pigeons like that to start with, if you wanted to learn how to do this, then that would probably be good. But
I wanted to ask you, did you just like drive around until you found like a group of pigeons? Like or did you actively summon them?
no, so I mean, I live in the London suburbs, so there's just pigeons in
They're just everywhere.
basically every urban centre, just
Yeah.
everywhere. And
The pigeons
the
actually
reason I
followed
wanted to go
them
to
out of
that-
their house.
Sorry?
Pigeons followed you out of your living room.
I wish they would, man. But no, I went to that spot specifically because it had this fantastic view in the background across the river of the MI6 building, which is quite funny because I didn't realize till I got there, and my friend who helped me film it was like, "That's MI6, not MI5." And I was like, "Okay, well, whatever, screw it."
Same thing.
But there just happened to be sort of a big open park there, and a whole bunch of really friendly pigeons.
Oh, that will help.
And if you get to know, if you go there often, the pigeons will recognize you and sort of trust you more than the average human. The ones that are in the park that's like 2 minutes from my house will, as soon as they see me coming, they'll come down to the floor and sort of look at me expectantly.
yeah.
And a couple of them try to land on me, practically having to bat them away like flies.
Lovely little guy.
They are so precious. I love them. I'm so happy that I've not actually been too restricted in my movement after surgery that I can still go feed the pigeons in the park.
Aww.
When I watched that part of your video and I just saw, I was like on board. I was like, okay, yeah, this person's like a really funny linguistics. This is really cool. And then you picked up a bird, and I'm like,
Really?
on board. I am on board.
Yeah.
I've been
I'm
sold
so
this
glad.
language now.
I'm glad. I do think live pigeon content gave me perhaps
Yeah.
a boost.
Yeah.
I had like, I don't know how many people actually noticed. I think somebody noticed, but like 7 different cardboard moustaches, and just
Yeah,
switched
I-
between
Oh, wow.
them
I
gradually
saw.
It was the
increasing.
best.
I
There
didn't notice.
was
Oh my god.
I didn't notice
I
that.
saw you. I saw it.
When you picked up a
Yes!
pigeon, though, I was so afraid that you were gonna like actually do the translation with real pigeons, and I was like, oh god.
I
Couldn't
also
take my eyes off.
I was like, is it gonna? I think it was the first time I saw that clip, like the part where you started like actually walking towards the pigeons and picked it up. I
Yeah.
was going, no way, no way, no way, like out loud, just
What am I
saying
gonna be
that over and over.
No,
like,
I'm
no, this can't be.
What am I going to be
I don't
complicit in as the guy running this competition?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I about to witness here?
I was really hoping one of them would land on my arm, and just none of them took the bait. So I'm standing there in one of those shots for a minute, like with my arm out, just looking kind of like an idiot. And one of them is like kind of comically long. Like I left it cut that way, sort of because it was still funny, but it was just taking them a minute to get on board. But my friend Kel, who helped me film that day, I'd sent them my script the night before, but they hadn't actually more than skim read it, so they were standing there holding the camera as still as they possibly could while they were trying not to laugh. As I just very badly remembered all the inane bullshit I'd written down to spout off.
I loved the Winston getting closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw that and they went, "Am I Winston?"
That was so good.
Every time I see a blue bar pigeon now, I'm like, "Oh, a beautiful blue bar."
I saw a pigeon like that in when I was walking through Bilbao a few days ago, and like I was walking with my wife and I saw it. And I was like, oh, hey, look, I could end a sentence in diplomacy with that one.
Oh my god!
It just
You made it into the Schwa canon.
Yeah.
All of the absurd modalities of speech that the cursed conlang circuses have brought us have always made me think, like, in just everyday real life situations, I'm like, I could make a conlang out of this. It's like, I don't want to, but I could.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not gonna.
I look at any set of objects with a number above like 10, and I'm like, oh, there's a phonology. Yep, okay.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yep.
Just see.
Just by sort of sheer, the more we keep doing type it gets, with just how creative people can get with these things.
True.
yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely very crazy.
Wait, Jutomi said I could make a conlang out of having breakfast. Like, exactly, that's my thought process.
Yeah.
If you do things in a certain order, like, you could like make a grammar out of it or something. Like, it's
Literally.
it's ridiculous.
Like I was looking at like the Waffle House has like a code for like the food orders by putting like certain food items on a plate in a pattern. And I was watching this video of someone like explaining the Waffle House food patterns, and I was like, they're already halfway there. Like they're already halfway to having a Waffle House conlang. Like,
Yeah.
I know. That was so cool.
Literally anything. Any
Finish the
set
job,
of items.
coward.
God damn. Kat Mistberg said in relation to diplomacy, thankfully we didn't get a native speaker moment for that conlang.
Yeah.
Even within the universe of its creation, it's a constructed language. So
Yeah.
True.
spoken by probably one
A native
bizarre
speaker.
individual ever.
What would a native speaker of Operation Diplomacy
Yeah, how would that
look like? Like, what would it
The
be? Would it just
child of
be
two
a-
spies
whatever
learns to communicate with their
term is
parents
for
exclusively
Yeah,
through
pigeon.
crazy researcher's kid.
I think you'd just be some sort of animate pigeon loft.
That's what they call me.
What, actually, what is the term for like a group of pigeons?
A flock?
Is
Flock?
it just a flock
I don't know.
of pigeons?
I mean, I've been saying flock this whole time. I don't know if it has a more specific.
A
context.
creole of
What is
pigeons.
Someone will have made up a dumb compound noun at some point in the 1800s.
A kit of pigeons. According
A
to
band of pigeons.
azanimals.com, so I'm sure it's right.
Well, yeah. Pigeon is in. That's P. That's between A and Z. It's got to be right.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Very true. Everyone knows if it starts between the letters A and Z that it must be factually true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just that P is between A and Z, and there was a clear A and Z birds. So, like, what was it? ANZ birds?
It was
I forgot what the ANZ was.
azanimals.com.
Exactly, A to Z animals.com. P is in there, so it's got to be right.
P is
This is
in
such
there.
sound logic. We clearly learned
It's
so
in.
much
Yes,
from
P is
AHL.
between A and Z. Shocker. Amazing.
It's somewhere in there. I don't know where, but it's in there.
Conlanger learns the
I hope
alphabet.
you know where.
It's in there.
I
That's all.
hope
Look, that's
you
all
know
I've been
that.
told. Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I will give you some like excellent pigeon vocabulary because the names
Yeah.
for the chicks are incredible. They're mostly called squabs.
Yeah.
But past a certain point, they're also squeakers or peepers.
Squeak.
Aw.
Squeakers and peepers.
Honestly, they're just. If you've ever seen a picture one, they are so silly looking. Put that thing
That
back in the
sounds
oven.
about
it's not
Oh,
Mango
I can't wait for AZ
squab.
Plant Reviews to review all the plants with names between A and Z. Thank you, Kat.
God damn it.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Oh man.
Someone said squeakers and peepers sound like slurs.
Yeah, I've been called both of those things. I swear.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm in my squab phase.
Some robotic pizza. I'm in my squab era.
Wait, what?
My
Oh,
squab era. Just say that about like a toddler. Like, yeah, you're in your squab era. You'll
They're in
grow out
their
of it.
squab.
Like, what does that even look like?
A squab.
It's when the baby grows.
No,
is for a bit.
I'm saying like, what does a squab era look like? Like, what does that mean in relation
I'm
to?
in my
It's like the
small
news.
What have I just been sent? Oh, are those the squabs?
Oh, God.
era.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Yeah.
So ladybirds, they're so ugly.
them.
Me for
They're just
real.
like little weirdos. Look at them. So
Or big
cute.
head.
I
I
like
think about
it.
it daily.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Some robotic pizza asked, "What would a burp be considered in phonology?"
Oh God.
I
Uh.
I
Oh, I
an
see it.
epiglottal.
No, I mean, yeah,
A
but
tracheal
no.
trill?
No.
I feel like it's
Oh.
yeah. I mean, because
Oh, God.
grills will be a thing,
Yeah.
right? And that's not a burp,
Esophageal
so
trill.
Yeah.
esophageal.
Esophageal.
Wait, actually, you're right. You're right because burps don't come from the lungs; they come from the stomach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It would
they
be the
have a
trachea,
syrinx.
So it's
I
not-
learned that when I read the goddamn ornithology papers.
yeah. Yeah.
Google says that the burp,
scary.
the resonance of the burp is created in the sphincter.
The resonance of the burp.
It's created in the
It's true.
sphincter.
No, it's true. Like I have acid reflux, and
yeah.
my esophageal sphincter is so relaxed, and it's a problem.
Yeah. No, I also have slight acid reflux. Not like severely, but I do have a little bit of acid reflux, and I did indeed learn about the esophageal sphincter during the various experiments that they did on me when they put frickin' barium into my body and flipped me upside down.
What? Okay. Well, maybe I didn't have that.
I just did that before.
They had me drink.
Well,
a
I was
cup of
super
barium,
super young.
and then they flipped me upside down on one of those like upside
Really?
down like board thingies, and they're like, "All right, just kind of hang there for a minute, and then we'll see if any of the barium comes back up." I was like, oh god.
Oh, that's wild. I've had it since I was a toddler, so they might have done it to me, and I don't remember. I don't know.
I see.
Since I was a
feel like
squab.
you remember that.
Yeah,
That
you were a
sounds-
squab at the time.
That sounds like
so-
traumatic. as
You want a wee
toddler.
squab?
Got him.
Sphincterial acidic explosive. Thank you, Yutomi.
Oh God.
No,
boy.
no. Oh, I learned about the sphincter as an articulatory method from because Tony Trail, when he was writing about first describing the phonology of the language, described the creaky voice or the advanced creaky voice, whatever that one's
Oh.
called, as sphincteric.
Sphincteric. What language is this?
Tar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if my mic picked up the
The mic
noises.
didn't pick up the click at first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard the
Yeah.
Yeah.
vowel.
Oh, I heard those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please
Yay.
teach me to do that.
I know I can click good because my mum rode horses a lot because I'm from the country.
I see.
Ah.
I see.
Which country? Australia?
No.
Oh.
Refuses to elaborate.
Wrong
Just, no.
guess.
Yeah. Wrong
I'm
guess.
actually
Try
from
again.
Arizona.
okay.
That explains the accent. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
could I could
Yeah.
tell from the classic
You can-
Arizonan accent.
You can really hear my Arizona accent.
Yep. That's what you hear the minute you
I
walk
mean,
out
the
of Phoenix.
climate is similar enough. I'm sure that if you go to like Central Australia, you'll have a pretty good idea of what Arizona is like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm from the climate in my place is I've googled it. It's almost identical to Arizona.
Oh yeah. Like,
So,
is it like
50 degrees
the
in
hot
summer or
desert
something like
climate
that.
on the Köppen climate
Uh,
list or whatever?
During the summertime, 117 Fahrenheit is common.
Okay, yeah, that's about the
That's
same.
like a
Oh,
baseline
boy.
on a lot of days.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
That sounds pretty similar. That makes sense.
I went
Awful.
to look that up when Agma said that it was like 125 Fahrenheit, which I think is over 50 degrees C. And I
Yeah.
looked it up and that was hotter than the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Evil.
it is.
There
Yeah.
might be clouds on the Sahara that day.
Yeah.
Why do people live there?
Because it was profitable a long time ago, and it continues to be almost profitable now.
Yeah, there you go. That pretty much sums it up. Or more specifically, when the air conditioner was invented, it became profitable to make stuff in Phoenix. Yeah. Like literally after the invention
hang on,
of the
we've
air
got a comment.
conditioner, the population
This
of
is the
Arizona
good
went up by
thing
like
story.
200% in a year.
Oh, yeah. Wait, someone
Hold
said that we should tell the emu story.
Yeah. What's
Oh,
the
God.
emu
All right, shall I
story?
start
Yeah.
and start? A lot didn't catch. Okay, so this was at least 10 to 20 years ago. My dad was out mustering sheep, and he had the dog. He had the dog Kelly.
Mustering.
Kelly also got fed to the sheriff after she died, but that's a different story. Anyway, so we had Kelly the sheepdog on the back of the motorbike, and Kelly was in the milk crate tied to the back, and they were going along in the bush, and it was about mid-August, which is when emu eggs come out, and they saw this big clutch of emu eggs, about 12 emu eggs, and keep in mind an emu egg is worth about a dozen chicken eggs, so 12 emu eggs is a big feed, right? You can make a lot of cakes and stuff out of that. And so my dad goes over to the nest, and he can't see the daddy emu around because the males keep care of the eggs. Couldn't see him around, so he starts getting all the eggs and sticking them in his jumper, and he puts his whole upper body, like his arms and everything, through the head hole of the jumper and like ties it around his waist and makes it into kind of a bag. And he puts all of the emu eggs in his like jumper bag around his waist. And he sits back down on the motorbike, and then he's sat there about to take off, and then he just hears the emu going doof, 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 behind him, like running up to get him. And it's at this point that we flash back to Chulla Jack, my great-grandfather, who told my father, he said, son, if an emu ever charges at you, you've got to hold your ground because it'll swerve at the last second. You've got to always remember that. If you move, you might run into its path. So you hold your ground because the emu will swerve.
Oh, God.
So my dad sat there and hears the I'm gonna sit right still. No, over. And he runs straight into the back of the motorbike. Motorbike shoots out from underneath him. The dog goes flying, runs off into the bushes. My dad falls down. The emu falls down on top of my dad. They're all kicking and screaming in the dirt. Emu gets up and runs into the bush. It doesn't even care at this point. It's that frightened. My dad gets up. Not one of the 12 enormous emu eggs was not shitted inside of his jumper, and he had yolks and whites coming out of his sleeves and out of the legs of his jeans for the rest of the day.
Good.
And he had to ride back home and show up to my mother looking like that.
Cool.
So you
Oh
came
my
back
God.
to
Oh
the
my
greatest
God.
story of all
Can you-
time. What do you mean? What did I come back to?
Can I go back to how you said that you fed the dog to the sheriff or something like that? I didn't hear that.
Oh, that
Fed
was the
the
time
dog
that
to the sheriff.
Robbie Wongowal almost got arrested. I can tell the story of how one of our employees fed the dog to the sheriff. I can tell that story if we want.
I
Oh my God.
Is
Thank
this
you.
real?
I think the fact that it was a
Is
beast
this or is this all just like
This
what
is
lore?
real. I'm
Like
saying it. This is real. This is not a bit. This
Lore.
is real stuff.
Graham
This is
Handcrotch lore.
Yeah, I was
happens in
about
the
to say,
lawless
this sounds
bush.
like a story from like Graham Handcrotch. Like
No, Graham Handcrotch is a city boy. He knows no good stories.
Oh.
okay,
That was
no,
the
that's
most
actually
Australian anecdote I've ever heard in my life.
I learned a
Yeah,
lot of new words.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I've never heard
A lot of
I
new
learned
words.
a new measure
words.
word, a clutch of eggs. That's something I never thought I would hear.
That's a thing.
A
I've heard that
clutch.
before.
A clutch is a
I knew
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I
Really?
knew that.
I've never heard a
I
clutch
heard
of eggs.
clutch in Walking with Dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's not an Australian
Yeah,
thing.
I
Second
think
Really?
it's
word
actually
you've learned
true.
from
I
him, the
think I
first was
heard.
bollard.
I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard a clutch
bollard.
of
That's
eggs
also a
when
new
talking
one.
about
I
dinosaurs
never heard
first.
bollard before
Bollard.
Is
before
bollard
Graham
Australian?
Handcrotch's beautiful presentation.
Bollard? No.
When I-
That's
Before
Yeah, I'll be honest
Graham
with you, I have
Handcrotch
no
not
idea
bought
what a
shit on a
bollard
bollard.
is. I have no idea
Bollard
what a
It's
is a
like a
regular
little
word.
post that's meant to stop cars and things driving on
yeah.
the footpaths.
If you're from the
Yeah.
US,
Oh, is-
bollards are like nowhere here, but in
Is
Europe they're really common.
Yeah, I do.
They
I do
love
know
cars
them
in
now.
the US. They love getting run
they're
over,
in
so they don't put any
Yeah.
bollards
Wait,
up.
is it like the is it like those like metallic railings on the side of like a highway or a parkway, or
No.
is that different?
They're more like poles than a railing.
Yeah,
Like
they're
an
like these
individual
like
Yeah,
random
yeah.
poles.
post.
Like technically, the giant balls outside of Target are bollards. Like those.
Oh,
Oh,
Are those technically
yeah.
bollards?
Technically, they are because they're meant
They're
to
balls.
keep cars from going in.
There's bollards everywhere.
I never thought about that.
You can eat shit on a bollard anywhere.
Especially
I
in
think
front of
some
Target.
of the ones. I think some of the ones right where I was filming are, or at least were, cannons at
Oh.
one point.
Oh,
wow.
That I think the British
Really?
took them off their enemies or something. We're just like, well, we have all these cannons now, and we've already pwned everyone else so hard that we don't even need to fight with them. Let's just stick them in the roads.
Oh,
Just
really?
show off.
I guess that works. It serves that purpose.
Yeah.
That is anecdotal. Don't quote me on it.
Okay.
But
yeah.
wouldn't be
It's been
surprised.
officially cited. You will be sued for disinformation if.
Oh, no.
Otherwise.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just tell them that a little birdie told me.
Ooh.
Oh.
That works every time in court.
Yeah, it does. Don't say that the evidence was anecdotal. Say that a little birdie told you.
A little birdie
changes
told me.
everything. Add it to the record.
The evidence is dismissed as on account of being sourced from a little birdie.
And also this person in the comments who's now backing me up. So
Some London streets have bollards made of cannons. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
There you
interesting.
go.
That's cool.
London's just one of those places you can like run into a fun fact and trip over it and then keep walking.
yeah, it's
That's
insane.
I've never thought about it that way, but I quite like it. I appreciate the perspective.
Yeah. Novel sentence number 2.
God damn. Let's see. I feel like I've passed a couple questions in the live chat the past couple minutes.
We really have. There's been so many questions.
We've gone off topic from conlanging, and now we're talking about like what was it? What were we like emus and bollards?
At least the bollard was like relevant, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the bollard was included in my submission. The emu story was just fun.
yeah.
Yeah, and I brought attention to the emus, so I guess it's my fault.
This is something that blame has to be attributed for.
Someone's got
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, what are some questions that we missed? I know, Agma, you said you saw some.
A couple people were asking about if collab languages could be permitted in the next one. I'd say probably not. Well, probably not. But
I think that rule that set up in the FAQ when someone asked that question, which was like, it depends. If you contribute with other people, you can't make a submission on your own. So if 5 people want to collaborate, then they can make one. And in addition to that, you can help others with things that don't pertain to the language, like if someone wants you to present their language for them or help them with the typesetting or something. That's also fine. I think I explained that in that one FAQ answer somewhere. You can search for that.
Yeah, and I think before this one, it was kind of like, you know, you can do it, but like as like a group endeavor, but like, you know, if you did happen to win with that, and you know, I'm not suddenly gonna have the resources to make like 50 prizes for a group of 50, so you have to like basically delegate one person to be the main recipient of a prize if you were to do it as a group, you know. Because I'm working on the fan art for all of y'all's stuff. I'm working on the Franco-Enochian one for Stephen Kramer, who's not currently here, unfortunately. So I'm working on the Franco-Enochian one at the moment. But I'll be getting all of your fan arts to you over time.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Thank
with them
you.
so
I
far.
appreciate it.
Sorry, fan art?
Or literally,
Yeah,
like that's what I thought too.
prize.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's because I did it last year for the various winners from last time, and I'm doing it again this time. The rest of the prizes depends on if I have any actual resources and the ability to send letters out here, because I am not yet confident that if I send a letter the same way I would send a letter in America, that would actually reach its destination. But I'll try.
Yeah.
But I'm at least doing the fan art first for now, so that I could figure out the rest later. But yeah.
Yeah, that like the 12-hour stream ended, and it was like, contact me for your prizes, and I was like, there are prizes? I didn't like, I was like, oh.
I knew
No, I don't need one.
prizes. I knew there were prizes, but I thought only applied to like the first place winner or something. I didn't think that I would get a prize.
Yeah, well, like, so everyone, ever since the beginning, everyone's gotten at least something. But the people who won during the very first circus were very lucky, because I gave out like very large prizes that were very expensive to ship around the world. Like I literally like included like a physical copy of my AutoJune book and put it into like a big old envelope and shipped them to various locations throughout the world, and that was extremely expensive. And I was like, well, there you go. And then Babolinguas didn't actually get to him, because it arrived. It arrived, and he was the first place winner, so there was also $100 in there. and it arrived, and his
Oh,
roommates didn't
no.
recognize it because it just said Babalingua on it and not his real life name, and then they just returned it, and then it got sent to just some limbo because I
Oh,
sent
that's
it
so
using my
sad.
PO box, and my PO box had expired by that time. And so it just got cast
That's
off to
so
the big
sad.
ether somewhere. So that's
Yep.
very
That's
unfortunate.
tragic.
It's gonna land. It's gonna fall out of the sky one day.
Whoa.
It'll just appear. It's somewhere in Atlanta. Maybe it's been auctioned off. Atlanta's where they have it's like the island of dead packages where like every unshippable item ends up, and they literally just auction stuff off at once the items are declared officially lost. So I'm sure by now, in the past 3 years, someone's opened up that package for auction and just seen an Auto-June book at $100. Like, oh, okay.
That doesn't feel legal, but okay.
Yeah.
Be there.
Squabs. People are still talking about squabs in the comments.
Alleged.
Yeah,
Pigeon
because
squabble
they're
deliver it.
on the camera.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of the squab bowl on the frame.
The squabble.
Squabble.
Yeah, the squab bowl is always there. Always there.
Oh my god, squabble.
Squab gang.
That's my favorite
Squabble.
word game.
Squabble.
Squab bowl.
Moral of the story: always tell your housemates that you're a YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a moral.
It's a moral that could be had.
Moral.
It is a moral that could be had. It could be gleamed as such. The what? Oh, got him.
What?
Maybe that was just a vestigial echo of someone saying something.
God.
Vestigial echo.
Ooh.
That's kind of metal as hell.
Not just an echo, it's vestigial too.
The name of a new
That's what
band.
they vestigial.
The vestigial echo.
What's up, gang? We're Vestigial Echo. It's great to be here.
Why did that
Pigeon
sound like
says,
moist critical?
yeah. The
God.
squab situation is insane.
I've never watched him, so I don't know if I accidentally said his voice.
Yeah, pretty much.
happy
Pigeon
to
says, Mr. Funny
unintentionally
Conlang
say
Man,
things.
am I allowed to? No. Just, no.
Are you allowed to what?
I think
The club
If you
stuff.
ask
am
for
I
permission, the
allowed
answer
to?
is no.
No. No. Scrabble but argumentative.
Question to any winner. Most complete conlang you've made. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Before I uploaded Gobble Gob, like a couple months before, I uploaded a showcase of my dwarf conlang, Dufiriatan. So yeah, you could go check that out if you want. That's my most
Yeah.
complete conlang.
Very nice.
mine
I was
is.
going to ask
Oh,
if that
you go
existed because it sounded like it did from the way that you referenced it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
I
Fantasy conlangs with
like
you.
that conlang is very difficult grammatically just because of how irregular it is. And like I'll just say it, after the showcase I like never worked on it again, sadly. Like I was just like, okay, that's enough for now. It's too hard. But
I'll get back to it
but yeah.
later.
I will get back to it later, yeah. But yeah.
Indeed.
And I have a lot of other languages that I want to work on, but I just like I have too many ideas. Same thing as what Agma was saying earlier, with like either hyper focusing on one project or like getting bogged down by 20.
Yeah.
Mm.
Voiced, palatal, plosive. I was answering
Yeah.
a question. In the chat. Um,
Give me a random consonant.
They said, "Give me a
pending
random
from the
consonant from
vowel
the
sound."
voice palatal plosive." Yeah, I like
Correct.
it.
I thought it
It's
was an
fine.
instruction.
I thought that was the
voice
name of your most
lateral,
completed
palatal,
conlang. It was like, oh, you
Oh,
called
no,
your
no, no, no,
conlang
no, 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 no.
Voice
thought that
Voice
was the name of
palatal.
a new metal band.
That's the whole. Honestly, I feel like yeah is probably just like definitively the most complete conlang I've made because it has documentation online. Like that's the only one. I have one that I've been working on for like on and off 3.5 years now that I like would consider my first like one that really met my standards, and I'm working on the video for that right now. That's going to be my next video. But but even then, I don't even know if I would consider it more complete than Oeya because Oeya is just more complicated and there's more to it. I don't know.
I can't believe that you made OAIA within like what 3 months. Or so? You said you started working on it in June.
I started working on it in July. It was just like July 1st. I was like, okay, I should start thinking about the Curse Conlang Circus. So I spent July like
God.
I know I spent July like
Sorry.
working on it just to as complete as I could get with all the stuff that I was hoping to put in there, and then I spent August working on the video, and then like the first week of September was me just like polishing the video, and then it taking probably 120 hours to render.
Oh God.
It was a time. But
God.
even like it even took me a month, but it still feels like my most complete project because there's documentation online. It seemed it's not complete documentation because every word has case forms. Cry.
Like the documentation really matters though. Like there are some times when I make like a language that's like really detailed, but it doesn't have like any documentation
Right?
or any
Yeah.
formatted way of presenting it, and therefore it feels incomplete and like bad. But then as soon as you make the documentation, it's like, okay, this is something.
Yeah. Linguolabial click. They asked for another one.
Wait, where?
But wait, that's supposed to be from the alveolar.
That was from the alveolar.
Oh, from the alveolar. Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
A
Failed.
voiced alveolar click. Wait,
There
voice.
You failed the test.
Try voicing an alveolar click. I dare you.
Yeah, a voiced click.
Random wrote it constant my name from the alveolar.
I didn't see the alveolar part of that message.
I'm doing all the laterals. Lateral alveolar fricative. Schwa.
La. Ooh la la.
Ooh.
Auto-June moment.
What?
That's
my most really?
Auto-June, yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
worked
No
on
prizes
that?
for guessing.
What a shock, right?
Yeah.
No, imagine you were like, no, Auto-June isn't my most complete one. Hyper Pirate is, or like some twist like that.
Yeah. Yes, there's a secret 200-page
bait and
inspired document that Agma has been waiting to unveil. Definitely.
Oh,
Hyper
yeah,
Pirate
yeah.
2.
It's gonna be a
Ooh.
thick book, like
What
King James Bible scale book.
Oh, yeah. What are some tips for doing or getting around to documentation? That's an interesting question that I don't know how to answer.
I'd love
This
to know
is a
this
tip
one too.
that I don't follow very well, but I think is a good way, which is start fairly early on. Like don't start with the documentation, obviously. Like start in a spreadsheet so you could like get your phonology chart and like grammar charts and stuff like that. But like when you start like making lexicon and like have more complex grammatical or syntactic ideas, then you need a document to write it out. Like putting it all in a spreadsheet will get messy. So yeah.
So I use this strategy with my two. It depends. So hold on. I need to kind of restart the sentence.
I've been there.
I was gonna say a moment ago, my most worked conlang kind of depends on how you define it, because I've made like one that's just a version of English, and that one's super well developed. And then beyond that, my most well developed conlang is I got a bunch of Michael Rosen noises and put them together into a language.
Oh my
both-
god.
Okay. Okay.
It's on my
That's
other YouTube
awesome.
channel.
Lots of clicks
it's
in
like
that one.
yeah, there's so many like
I can assure you half of that did not come
but
out.
what
Oh,
I did
bye.
Wait, someone left?
Oh,
yeah, I bet.
oh,
bye
bye,
bye.
Avern.
Yeah. Bye, Everin. Bye bye. But what I was
Everin, like,
trying to
didn't
get
say
to the point
anything.
of like, no,
That's sad.
Yeah.
the
sorry.
reason I spoke was that there has to have been one. There has to have been the question. That's right. For both of those projects, the most important part of developing the language was wanting the documentation, because that's my favorite part of the like conlang process, is being able to like make all of the stuff, is like being able to have all of the things that I've written out and been like, oh yes, this rocks. I'm so proud of this big document, or this big spreadsheet document. And like in terms of just like getting anything done with development of a conlang, I just kind of look for like, what do I find fun on top of conlanging, and how can I like implicate it into the conlanging process so that I can conlang more? Like, what's a way I can trick myself into conlanging? How can I do that?
Ooh, yeah.
How much lang could you conlang if you could conlang while you conlanged?
How much lang could Conrad hold on? How much lang could Conrad conlang if Conrad could conlang?
Damn.
God.
Got
New
me
sentence
there.
number 3
I
at
don't know.
least.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the emu story had a lot of new sentences.
Well,
in
you
it.
said that already.
Yeah, if you told the
That's
story before,
true.
they're
That's
not really
true. That's
new.
true.
And judging by the way you told the story, I feel like you tell like all your friends or something. Like, I feel like that's a common story.
I'm a bit of a story. That's actually my favorite part of conlanging, is telling stories in conlanging. I put in the Discord a while ago, like a little yarn I read in the alternate version of English, and it's like this story about a guy on a he's telling this tall tale about how one time the fog was so thick they had to cut through it with a black to be able to get through it.
Dang,
And
that's
I'm
really cool.
just like making up stories and conlang, and I'll get to a bit and I'll be like, how do I express this idea? And it forces me to develop thing. Like that's like kind of what I was talking about, of like I'm trying to do something and then I have to have the conlang in order to do it. And so that's how I like force myself to develop all these things that I would otherwise be like, well, because I can't just sit there and be like, well, okay, now I've got this kind of clause. Now let's move on to the next thing on my checklist. I've got to like navigate it organically and be like, because I'll never remember to do all of the things that a conlang needs. So I've got to just like explore organically and see what comes up.
It's a little bit of both for me. Like, I definitely have like a checklist, but my checklist does not cover everything, and I need like translations to be able to remember, oh yeah, I need to do this. But if I were to do things entirely using translations, I feel like I might accidentally just make an English relex. Like I need to think of things kind of like distanced from English before I start translating.
Fun fact, it was not until I did the relay translation that I realized that Ultra French had no way of forming adverbs yet. Because I've never used adverb before that.
Yep.
Wow.
I remember that from the video. Yeah.
Yep. I was like, how do you make an adverb? And then there was nothing about adverbs in the grammar. It was like, okay.
Oops, forgot that bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't ever come up, and it's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't. Someone asked me like, "How do you do this in OAI or whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I made that in a month. I'm sorry." Yeah,
There's
TV.
also-
No, for real. Like I had so many people ask me questions. I thought the video itself would serve as documentation.
Yeah.
Apparently that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
God, I was just like, here's the link to the spreadsheet that I made it in. It's covered in my meta notes.
Oh my god, I would not be able to do
Yeah.
that. Like
You
I just
you do not want. Sorry, you go ahead.
no. That was kind of the end of my sentence.
Oh, okay.
I hid
What I was gonna
sushi.
say is like the Gobble Gob spreadsheet is like terrible, honestly. Like it is very disorganized. It has a lot of charts that are like half empty. Like it does not look good. So I'm glad that linking a spreadsheet was not required because yeah.
We wouldn't have had time
Yeah.
to look at everyone's spreadsheets anyway. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, like
yeah.
I asked in the
Yeah.
very first Cursed Codlang Circus for everyone to submit documentation to prove that they actually made it, and it wasn't just stuff that they put in the video script, but there was just nothing else at all. Which like I thought that
yeah.
made sense for the first time, but that was such a time suck that by the time it became enormously larger than what the first one was, it was like, no, you don't need to do that. I believe
Yeah.
you. I will believe that you made a language, at least for the sake of this.
Right? Like I don't want other people seeing my spreadsheets that I made specifically for myself, cuz like if they read things, I won't be able to like how do I phrase this sentence? Like I have stuff in there that makes total sense to me. That I'm sure someone will read and be like, what are they on? What are they
Yeah.
that being partly the entire proto language of Oyaya is
Like 2 consonants in the proto language or something
it's
like that.
4 consonants.
4 consonants.
It's 4 consonants and 3 vowels.
That sounds difficult.
It's
I
not
don't
great.
know.
It was kind of, I mean, it was fun, but like I made some real cursed phonological changes in there that are just like so unrealistic, but
That's what
I mean,
makes
it worked
whatever.
out.
That's what makes them quirky. Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Oh god, I see some of these questions.
Yeah. Procedural
Oh my
logographs. Procedural
Will we get us
logographs.
That's a QR
Oh man,
code, right?
Oh, that is a QR code, isn't it? There sure were procedural logographs because that would have saved so much of my time.
You'll probably put together like a script that would make it.
I don't know what
I could have, maybe.
Now
I don't know
now
what you
I'm
mean by
dreading.
procedural logographs. Like, what are you saying?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know if I'm fully understanding what that means.
like
Let
how
me
like
answer
in
your question with
Minecraft
another
the
question.
terrain is
What?
like procedurally generated or whatever. Like
Yeah.
like you know to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
things not ever
I
be
assume it's something
exactly
like
the
that.
same. Yeah. Like I assume a
Is it-
code
Well,
could
now
could a
I'm-
Minecraft map then not be considered a procedural logograph?
Yeah.
Well, what does it
every
mean?
Minecraft map is
If
every
you use it to
Minecraft
represent a
map is.
word.
You can make every symbol in the language could be like a chunk
Oh,
straight
What
down
does
to
the-
bedrock.
what is the word?
All the contents of a chunk.
Mwah, I love that.
yeah.
Wait, it could though. Wait, it could though.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
then-
some radicals and then make
Ooh.
logographs out of it. Yeah, so that's what I was interpreting as what they meant. Of like you just have these radicals and it kind of just like puts them all together, which is what I was doing manually for a month straight.
Aha. Ahaha.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a couple other questions in here too. Can we submit languages we started working on before the CCC4 is announced? I mean, you can, but that would mean that you're most likely not participating in one of the themes, and you still have to do a translation for the current year's circus translation. So technically, yes, but you
It's
can't
so-
finish it before the CCC4 is announced, because you need that information in order to finish
so
your
funny.
submission.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, though,
Going years in advance.
No, but it's so funny you mentioned that, though, because I planned on not making a story, but having like a backstory for my conlang before I knew tell a story was a theme. And that's because what's it called? That's because I knew that my language would make most sense as an engineered language, so I wanted to be like, this is why it's engineered and not naturalistic.
Very nice. But yeah, the answer is you can't finish it before the CCC4 comes out. To that one question.
I'm gonna make a stockpile of cursed conlangs for the years in advance.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get them all out of the way.
Oh god. Yeah, I put together mine all the way up to CCC10. I'm stocked for a while.
Oh.
They got the release date
Yeah,
set
I'm
to
ready to go.
August 8th, 2029.
I already made the video and it's scheduled on YouTube.
We talked to Pew Tiostoea speakers to know what the translations we need to do are.
Oh,
True.
shout out
God.
to Science Meets Fiction though. Like in Pure Toasto, you know what I'm talking about. It was like a super big inspiration for me for this one, because I just feel like it hit the
Nice.
themes so well, and
Yeah.
I feel like Speed Talk was another really big contender. Like I thought that video was probably my favorite one, honestly. If I'll be real, like
There were
I don't know,
a
I
lot
just think
of
they're
really good
Yeah.
ones.
it's really cool.
There are a lot
Yeah,
of really
like
good
that.
ones.
That's why I'm like, I was probably, but like there were so many. I can't choose. I think, but
Yeah. It's like so some of my favorite ones didn't even get into the top 30. Like the
yeah.
like Ernifnuff's Concord, that was a really cool like music
Oh, yeah.
related one. That one was really cool.
Yeah.
That one didn't get into the top 30.
Yeah.
There were a few. I mean, there's 100 something submissions. I don't even know, but I know I put in my votes or whatever, and some of mine got into the top, some of them didn't. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I had put,
I got on it.
instead of doing the voting system, if I had let every single submission be in it again, then it would have been days and days of video. And as funny as the second Curse Conlang Circus being literally 26 hours of footage was, I did not want to put myself through that again on Christmas again.
Didn't it break your computer?
Mm-mm.
The what?
I thought it broke your computer or something.
It
Of,
did.
like,
It
the-
destroyed my computer.
the
That's why I have a
sheer-
laptop now
yeah.
and not a desktop. It destroyed it.
Oh no.
Poor,
literally
you
destroyed
poor
it.
man.
Yeah.
That's an incredible legacy.
A noble sacrifice.
Yeah, it was a very
I
noble
have a
sacrifice
confession.
with a very expensive computer.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, no.
god.
I didn't actually get my
said you have
vote
a
in because-
confession.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to vote on the CCC3 because I missed the deadline by about an hour.
Oh no.
Tragic.
I was so burnt
Revoked.
out on language stuff after having crammed my entry for the last 5 seconds that I was just like, I don't want to hear anything, worry about it.
I get it.
My brain can't do it. It's spaghetti. And then it got down
Yeah.
to like the last week, and I was like, I literally haven't watched any of them. So I was trying to like get them in at the end there, and I hadn't
exactly the
realized that it
same.
just slipped past me.
Before the
I
voting
was-
started, I almost watched all of them. There were like 3 that I missed, and Diplomacy was one of them. And
Aw.
I somewhat regret that, but then watching it in like the stream of like all of the other ones together, that was a magical moment. I loved watching that. Like I think
Diplomacy was
I
the
missed.
first one I watched.
Oh really? Yeah, I think I
It was
missed.
such a good start.
Oh yeah, I missed Diplomacy, Chavarise, and we have the animated one.
You and I loved the I'm frick. How do you pronounce it? Viewing.
Right.
That one.
Yeah, that one was awesome. That one was
Yeah.
really awesome. I think the first submission that I saw, well, the very first one that I saw was Orest's language. I forgot the name of it. It had a very complicated name. That was the very first one I saw, and then I started eventually. I started seeing Oea in like my video feed, but I didn't. But I didn't think that it was a Curse Conlang submission. I kept seeing it in my recommended, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I put it. I added it to my watch later list, and then and then probably a month later, I went into my watch later list, and I was like, okay, it's later. I'll watch these, and then I turned it on, and then I saw the rest of the the video title, and it said CCC3 submission. I was like, what? What the hell? Okay.
Oh, I see. I had a lot of people not realize that it was a Curse Conlang, like until the very end. I also had people that didn't know like anything about CCC, and so like I was getting comments like Twilight, and like who is Agma Shuya, and like this lore, like because people thinking the Agama Shuyex was like lore that I materialized.
I
had to be like, no.
a disclaimer at the start of my one because I'm usually a fully educational channel with just like goofy presentation style, and so I was making a video of like conspiracy theory brain rot, and I'm like, I have a moral responsibility to put this here.
Right. Yeah. And like both of us, we were like totally out of character in character the entire time.
Yeah.
And so like, oh my god, I had a couple people jump into my server and think that Lacati Portals is real.
What?
And they were like, yes, and they were like, oh my god, like people don't understand like we're gonna transcend into the higher dimension, and like I was like, whoa, hold on, honey. Hold on, honey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was wild.
I think I was protected by the fact that I like slid into. I tried to make mine like, it shows in like the video of my submission of like, because I'm not technologically advanced. I'm not a technologically advanced civilization, so I did my whole thing in PowerPoint, and it like shows. I did like this rapidly switching between slides and the like very faded text to try and like foreshadow the alien, like the 180 alien shift that the video took a few minutes in. And so I tried to make it like a gradual slide into mania. And I started in my natural voice and slowly went down into Graham Hand Crotch until I couldn't go any further.
The intro of your video it gets me every time.
I don't enjoy it.
The intro.
Well, when you like stumble and then just continue.
I think I made the same joke last year. I think
really?
Sorry. Last year was Zaz, and I said the cursed conlang circus, and I never acknowledged it. Whereas this one, I intentionally went the third cursed. Because the third cursed conlang circus is hard to say.
Yeah.
The third cursed conlang circus.
I've come to call it the triple C.
The triple C.
Whenever I'm reading it in my head, I always say the CCC.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think we typically call it the cursed conlangs, or we just say either the circus or the CCC.
Yeah, I feel like I usually end up just saying the circus. I'm like I'm for the circus.
The circus.
I'm from the circus.
It's me, the clown. I'm trying to learn Basque.
Oh god, that was like a public beach that I was walking at for all of those segments. Like, I was just I started
Yeah,
out
the
on this
people
cliff.
surfing
I
and it's like
adored the man walking past in the background.
the man walking past in
Oh
the
yeah.
background. The man walking past in the background was naked. It was a nudist beach. I was on a nudist beach recording that segment, and there was nobody there
Wow.
when I got there. I was like, "Oh, it's perfect." And I was like, "This is perfect. There's nobody here. I could just record my segment, and then we can leave." And then I was starting to record the winter segment, and then my wife started like
Oh.
signaling me to like turn off the camera, and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "You just talked through like a guy just walking by with no clothes on." And I was like, "What?" No.
Oh my god.
So I got rid of part of it, but there was one part that was like the only good take of one particular reading of one of the winners, and I was just like, "Okay, I'm putting the censored image here," and then so yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
That's
uh,
incredible.
Wonderful.
That's hilarious.
it's December. There's
Damn.
never anyone at the nudist beach in December, and like,
Absurd.
and I was just
December,
like,
yeah, God.
yeah, so I was just doing my thing, and then it was just like,
With the
oh,
outfit too.
yeah, with the outfit on.
Yeah.
I'm in this wacky circus man outfit, walking along this beach, freezing cold in the middle of the winter. No way anyone's actually going to be out here in any compromising situation, and of course there it was.
While I was filming mine, like, and I'm in the full costume, and I've got the stupid cardboard mustache stuck on my face. My friend and I like started getting pestered by a sanitation worker trying to discourage us from feeding the birds.
Oh really?
And
Ooh.
Oh no.
I get that she was just doing her job, but like I was like, we're just filming something really quickly. We're nearly done. We'll clear out of here in a minute. And and she's like, well, yeah, but and I'm gonna feed the birds whether you like it or not, lady. Whether I'm filming or not.
Mary
And then my
Poppins
friend was like,
Tom,
we should have had a fake
Mary
filming permit.
Poppins.
I have fakes for almost everything. I have a student ID for every uni in the city. I was like, what?
Oh
Oh.
my god. You
That
just exposed your friend. Oh my god.
Your friend is the fake ID guy. That's the guy when a guy says, I know a guy, it's your friend.
Yeah, literally.
Good.
Well, I'm paraphrasing, so
The
Yeah.
MI6 that you were
anecdotal
filming in
evidence.
front of is coming.
A little
after your
birdie
friend
told
now.
you.
Exactly. The evidence is
Yeah.
not permissible in court because a little birdie told you.
Yeah. Also, like at one point, a whole group of like school kids walked past, like teenage boys and stuff, and saw me in my stupid outfit with a fake mustache
Hello.
on the ground
Winston,
petting the
say
bird,
hello.
and I could tell that like some of them were sort of gearing up to potentially like scare the pigeons as a joke or whatever. So I was like standing there in this sort of stupid stance, that, like,
My pigeon.
defending my area, my little friends.
Your territory.
My pigeons are my honor.
Oh god, it's just like Marcy for trains last time. The trains conlang, just actually
yeah.
riding around on trains around Germany, like filming the train sessions and like just performing these little rituals to a little icon of Eternal and me at various points on public benches, like with a camera.
Oh my god,
that
yeah,
was
I
real
would.
dedication.
I appreciate like the bravery to go out and do that in public because like I can't I'm not doing that. I
This
like
point, I'm just
considered
kinda used to
filming
that guy.
stuff for like the final part of my video where we're like running. I considered filming around here because like I live in Southern California. There's palm trees everywhere. And I could like totally pass one off. But I don't know. I tried it and it didn't work. I don't have the bravery to do that, I think.
Ooh.
I really liked the part of my video where I almost dox myself, like in a serious geographical way.
I noticed that.
I noticed
I
that,
don't.
but I forget how.
Yeah, I did like a Google Earth shot. I mean, so I used to live near the suburb of Inglewood in Western Australia, in Perth, and
Yeah.
at the time that I made the video, I was living near there, and the park was like just near my house, and so I just put it in the video because I'm like, I'm not gonna be here for that much longer. I can just do this, and so I just like in this Google Earth shot, I do a full like zoom out
Yeah.
into space on the exact park that I filmed that at.
I know. I was like, oh, we're just
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh, yep, okay, that
Yeah.
exact park. All right, there we are.
It's this exact park in Inglewood, Australia, because the geography was important to the plot. It was the antipodes of that
It
park,
was.
which was near Bermuda.
Near.
Right,
Oh,
right.
all the pieces
Near
are coming together.
Atlantis. Yeah. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you all know the significance of the Bermuda Triangle. That was my favorite bit. Was just having this big explanation that it all led to the Bermuda
Yeah.
Triangle and not explaining why it mattered.
Saying, and you all know the importance of the
And yeah, of
We all
course,
know.
you know.
full stop. Just moves on.
Full stop. Someone just asked a moment ago, related question to PowerPoint. How much does the presentation part of making your CCC submission factor into your enjoyment of the process?
Submission.
I
Sorry, I'm saying it
personally,
verbatim.
I hated making the submission itself. Like I'm not a very good like video editor or like video production guy. So it was definitely like, even though it only took me a few days to make, it definitely felt like the longest, most tedious part. Like yeah.
It always
Mm.
is. It always is.
I was the complete opposite. Because my whole submission is more about the sketch than the conlang itself.
Yeah.
I was just like, I saw the conlang circus, and I was like, this is my opportunity to do comedy to an audience of nerds.
True.
I can
Very
make
true.
all
Hell
of
yeah.
the jokes I want.
You're like, statistically, most of these conlang enthusiasts are also classic Mini Minuteman Google debunker fans.
Mini
This is
Minute
like
Man.
perfect
I knew that
crossover
all
right
of these fuckers would know the Google box.
there. Yeah, exactly.
I knew they'd go Google debunkers for my video.
Yeah. I don't think I would be able to have a conlang like public without putting as much effort as I did into that presentation.
Yeah.
Because I mean I hold, I guess, such a high standard for anything that I make and like put out there that like I don't think I would ever want to put anything out there that's lower than that, because I don't know. I'm very aware of how much work and ambition that I put into my own stuff, that like having a presentation is like a deal or no deal for me. Like if I can't present it, I'm not gonna do it. Which maybe is awkward and weird, but I don't know. I just like, yeah, perfectionist. Yeah. Like, so now I've kind of dug myself into a little bit of a hole, because now I gotta do it. Like,
this is
again.
this is the perpetual YouTuber problem. So many YouTubers are just like, I've made a good thing. Now I am going to hold myself to the standard of this and nothing worse for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And
that's
don't get
the
me
eternal
wrong,
folly.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it in the sense that like it kind of forces me to keep up with like my own work and stuff, because I am a workaholic. So it actually like kind of gives me a motivation, like, oh, you know, if there's a good presentation, maybe like more people will see it. and justify the work that I've made, which is a flawed philosophy in itself.
It
But I mean,
it
the
makes
community
sense.
is like a big part of
Yeah.
the hobby, I feel, at this point, for us at least.
Yeah.
And having that interactivity, gives you so many more angles on it as well. And it's not just about, validation or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, to actually answer the question, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
So, like I'm doing it because I like doing it. I don't know.
Like the relationship of like you're working so hard on something that you love, and it's one of those things that everyone experiences of like I'm I love right now, and I love that I'm doing what I love, but man, I hate this. Just at various points when you're doing something that you're really passionate about, and you just dedicate your whole entity to it.
Oh yeah, I spent, I want to say, like 5 days straight making pronouns, and I was like, "What am I doing with my life?"
Me, non-binary.
No, literally. Oh, I was worried that I would get a lot of like people like thinking that it was some comment on the woke agenda quote. Because I mean, I straight up say in the title, like stuck in a world with 600 pronouns. Like, I did get a couple comments like that, but I was very surprised that it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
It crossed my mind when I read the title. It like flashed by my consciousness before I was like, hey, how much crossover do I think there is between conlangers and people who are against pronouns?
Exactly.
Oh,
So like,
yeah.
I oh my god, I went through so many video titles, and I didn't like the possibility of someone interpreting it that way. But one, it just seemed to be the best option. It was catchy. It had a big number in the title, and secondly,
It's a good title.
I mean, I liked it, and that's what mattered, I guess. But like, also, maybe some people clicked on it thinking it was that, and that helped somehow. Like, like
yeah.
So
yeah. I definitely used like clickbait for my language, because like originally the title was just Gobble Gob, the language of the goblins, but then like no one watched it, and I was like, I don't like this. I feel like no one's gonna see it, and my submission is not gonna get in. So I changed the title to like Gobble Gob, the super confusing language of the goblins.
Yeah, and like I would argue that's not clickbait. Like clickbait is when you put a title on the thing or like the thumbnail, and then you don't actually like answer it in the video.
You won't
clickbait was the Portuguese
the language of
seriously.
goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
original Portuguese
yeah.
thumbnail. That was a clickbait, because I was
You're
like,
so
new
right.
romance language just dropped.
Yeah.
But it's just
yeah.
Not a bit though. Like it was relevant.
Yeah, it was relevant.
It
So
is a
wasn't
new
total
romance
clickbait.
language.
Yeah, it technically is.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah.
I was kind of concerned that I was going to get people in my comments being like, you don't have a license. You can't show that on video, like of you.
I was so
handling an
curious
animal.
about that.
No,
Yes, I was thinking that.
And I actually haven't, I don't think. I mean, touch wood, for now. But like I did, put in the end of it like a giant text wall disclaimer about like don't just freaking grab birds for no reason.
I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah. That guy, I thought he was injured. Turns out this time one wasn't. But I only do that if I think I can help this thing more than I'm gonna stress it out.
Yeah. That's why I put at the beginning of the circus videos, like disclaimer: some of these languages require breaking the law to perform. Do not do illegal things.
Yeah.
It's like just because I'm laughing at the illegal thing happening doesn't mean that I'm condoning the illegal thing happening. Just you know.
Yeah. Cat has
I
a
loved
good
in
question.
the first circus where there was the one language that was fully just, I can't remember what it was, but it was just crying.
Oklahoma
And it
City.
raised
Robin
so
Hood.
high. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Robin Hood.
That
Robin
I-
Hood.
that's one of my all-time favorite submissions.
Yeah, Robin Hood is
So
great.
good.
It's
Mm.
great. Yeah.
That, and also like the one from the first CCC that was just called Agma Schwa and just used those sounds.
Yeah.
I love that
and
one.
then had that
I love
unbelievably
that.
fluent clip. I like
Yeah.
I will recite that clip to myself just, alone because I just love how it
Yeah,
sounds so much.
yeah.
It just tickles me. It's great.
Mm.
Yeah, that one was great.
Yeah,
it was like,
it
okay,
sounds
yeah,
so
funny
good.
phonology idea. Okay, what else is to this? And then the translation segment happened, and it was just so just smooth, such a perfect performance. It was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all you need is one good take.
Yeah, exactly.
It
I-
takes so many
In my
takes.
execution, or 17 takes of individual syllables.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes so
I
many
keep-
takes to recite a curse conlang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep coming back to the Chavarise translation at the end of that video with like all the sign language.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
It's just like that one in particular is so entertaining to me.
That one was
That was the
awesome.
first one I watched. I love that thing. I had to go watch twice because I was like, wait, how?
I don't know if I get it still. Cool.
There was like a
I don't know if I
there
fully
was
get
like a version one video
going
that I think goes into some of the concepts a little more than the actual sort of official entry does, and I
Oh,
know
really?
watching that helped me to understand it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know it's like there's like a spectrum thing going on where
Yeah.
like
It's
different
basically like the
things are
fundamentals
placed in different
of like
spaces in a spectrum of vowel space.
yeah, it's like everything is like it's like how taxonomy, like linguistic, like semantic and like lexical taxonomy can be split up in different ways, except it's like the phonetic
Yeah.
and morphological taxonomy mixed in with lexical taxonomy into like just these spectrums of quasi.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool.
There are some times during the degree of cursedness where after a point where your brain hurts so much that there's an integer overflow and it reverts back down and you're suddenly like, wow, this is actual cosmic beauty.
Cosmic beauty.
That's
I like
great.
that.
No, I just always get a feeling of dread with my curse conlangs. And like sometimes it works out, but sometimes I'm just like, wow, I hate this actually.
I like the pigeon language is the only conlang that I have ever actually finished to a point where I like have been able to really form sentences in it, because for like the past 5 years that I've been into conlanging, I've been working on just basically just one and a couple of like related languages in theory.
Yeah.
But because I'm always so scared that I don't know enough to make an informed decision about these very sort of fundamental pieces that you need to have down at the start, that like I just get trapped in perfectionism, and I basically gotten nowhere for 5 years, even though this language exists in my head and it has like so many cool structures and stuff that I can't wait to actually implement, but I'm just like so scared I'm gonna like fundamentally screw it up from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I
get that.
What I would say is like act like you're doing test runs.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this ended up being. I was like, wow, I can't believe just giving me a stupid prompt made me actually do a language.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
that's
you're
all
like,
it
this
takes.
is a low stakes thing, I'm just practicing for big things, then
Yeah.
you make big things.
And the deadline is also very helpful.
That's
True,
actually something very good to keep in mind, and it just made me realize that, like, um, I was telling a few people about this. I started a new conlang recently for like anthropomorphic sharks.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell
The
yeah.
yeah, the aesthetic is kind of inspired by OAIA in a way, but like it's different. It doesn't have labial sounds and stuff like that. But
hmm
but what happened was I started it out and I was like, okay, this is just a fun conlang, you know, it'll be fun to make. Like I don't need to add it to any world building project. And then I really started liking how it worked out. I was like, oh my god, this is great. I love this. Like, let me keep working on it. And then that's where I lost all my momentum. Like that's where I was too scared to move on. So
Yeah.
like
The weight of
so
the
definitely
expectations.
just like yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how it
So
worked
yeah,
with me
definitely
too.
just like
Yeah.
go easy on yourself, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
The thing I've been in a lot of like I've done a lot of silly things in competitions before in my life. This is kind of a like recurring motif for me. But like I like what I have done for both my entries for the Cursed Conlang circuses has just been like make a thing, and I'm like, look, I don't feel like I have it in me to make a top-notch crazy thing, so I'm just gonna be silly and hope people enjoy that. And like one time I did accidentally win a competition like that. It was really
Accidentally.
I was it was a music competition, and I performed a song where I had an accordion and I didn't know how to play it, and I just played it really badly, and I beat an entire band who played "Stand" by Eminem, like a
oh my god.
Oh my
emotionally
god.
gripping rendition, and I fully beat them, and I got first place, and I felt I haven't recovered from that. I think like the most kind of psychologically and emotionally healing thing for me in the Cursed Conlang circuses is to be like, this is low stakes. I'm not gunning for first. I'm being like, hey, here's a little here's your morning, here's your light entertainment for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I certainly didn't enter to win. You know, like I was satisfied enough just to know that people enjoyed it, and like especially watching the
Same.
judging stream, like to see
Same.
Big Lang react, like it was just like it made my day. And
Yeah.
like so had the stuff you were saying about it earlier, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
I was
but like
grinning ear to ear as Agma and like Eternal and everyone were reacting to my language. Like especially the part when Eternal was reading the translation of like the example sentence, like that was like 4 words long, but like it was a paragraph
Oh
in
god,
English.
that.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
It just
I
keeps
was like
fucking growing. Why?
I was cackling at that point.
Ugh.
And I don't think anyone like no one talked about it before that video came out, like, and that was kind of the goal. Like I didn't want to like bring attention to it during the video. I just wanted to like put it in the background and see if people noticed. And they did.
We noticed.
Yeah.
It was
That's
a
awesome.
it was a big a frick for me when I tried to be like kind of subtle-ish about all the background alien details, and immediately Agma noticed and like pointed them out as soon as he saw
Oh
all
yeah.
of them. I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
I was trying to do foreshadowing.
Well, I think we just watch all the same YouTube videos, right? Honestly, like I knew
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
This
algorithm.
happens to
I
me
knew
so
every reference
often.
that you were making. I was like, ah, yep, here we go.
I
Oh,
Dude,
really?
Zaz was
Oh.
so packed full of references. It was like Zaz was full like references top to bottom, and there was one person in the comments who got all of them, and it made me
Oh my
so just
god.
like happy about it. Like how I referenced the turbo encabulator and the failed 90s swing revival in the same like 2 slides, and this one person was like, I got both those references one after the other. I'm like, this is what I'm here for.
Damn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Damn.
you
Okay,
found your
okay.
niche and like the one other
Yeah.
person in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I still remember the I watched the bit of the stream where you reviewed Atlantean, or when you watched Atlantean on the way into work, like on the train into work. And still to this day, I like get to certain parts of the train journey to work, and I'm like, this is where I was when I watched them watch this part of my video.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. That's always good to hear, because like my whole thing was like, you know, especially after like the first circus like did well and people like liked it. My whole like
Yeah.
argument is like, for people who want to be like YouTubers, or they want to like make videos and show them to people, like I didn't care about winning. I considered getting rid of the concept of winners altogether and just making it like a kind of cavalcade of languages. I kept it in, but I just wanted to lower the stakes as much as possible. I just wanted to really just be like, a lot of people want to show off their creative projects, but a lot of the time, if you just like post it in like a Discord channel or something, maybe like one
Throw
or
it
two
out in the
people will see
ether.
it or
Yeah.
something. But it's like a reason to put it together into like a special format that people will see, and that if you're lucky, it could get picked up by the algorithm, and basically just get more people to cross the threshold of thinking about publishing something that they've made to actually publishing something that they've made. And and so I'm so happy to see hundreds of cursed conlangs and several people, begin like regular YouTube channels, like regularly producing YouTube channels after their circus submissions. Like several people have done that, and so I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Get people past that threshold, because that's, at least for me, I was for years, like I'd always wanted to have a YouTube channel, but I was always like too anxious, or I never thought that I had like a proper reason to actually do it, until I was like, you know what, I'm just going to publish a video on the development of AutoJune every single week for an entire year and see what happens. And I finally did that, and so I was like, circus might be a way to lower the difficulty of the threshold for people to start showing off their work in a creative format. And so I'm glad that it's worked for several people.
I think it's working
That's something I
perfectly.
admired about it the most.
Yeah, because and it's
I've
pretty
always
awesome,
been sat there looking at the cursed conlangs circus. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
And just being like, that's a good platform.
Yeah, because when I first started making videos at the end of 2019, it was like Jan Measley was like had kind of like just gotten to the end of the conlang critic era. Like there was like no more conlang critic coming out. And Bibluridian was still occasionally doing some conlang stuff, but those videos were coming out much slower and fewer and far between, and there wasn't too much going on. And I was like, there's kind of, I guess, an opening right now. And now I've had the ability to create this contest to like pump now over 250 cursed conlangs into the world. It literally shifted the balance of like what types of conlangs people could see when they look for them on the internet. And so I'm glad. Yeah.
When it started to be like Tom Scott and Notch and people talking about it, I was like, whoa, okay.
Wait, where?
Yeah, Tom Scott
I
and
remember
Notch
that.
both watched the circus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Tom Scott. I'm subscribed to Tom Scott's newsletter, and one day it just was in the newsletter.
Yeah.
He just brought up like, "Hey, the cursed conlang circus, this rocks," and I'm like, "Whoa, what? I'm in that."
Oh my god.
I found
I'm in that.
Notch tweet about it one day.
Gary, there I am. Gary, there I am.
No,
Yeah.
something I was
Notch
thinking about
tweeted about it, I
recently
didn't realize that it was actually Notch. Like I thought it was just some other account.
Notch the Minecraft guy?
Yeah,
the Minecraft guy.
I was like, oh, someone named themselves Notch like the Minecraft guy, but it's not actually him. But then I realized people started telling me like, oh, that's actually the Notch who is being distracted from his work by watching the cursed conlang circus. Like, oh.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think I'll go lie on the floor for the next 3 hours and just process that.
Yeah.
When will Minecraft have an OAIA translation?
God.
I mean, you could definitely mod that in yourself. Last night I was working on turning the parrots into pigeons with a custom entity model.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sure.
I made a
If
video
I could
5
come
years
join the
ago now about how to
Craft
put your
server and make
conlang
like
on
a pigeon
Minecraft.
kingdom,
So
can we have that active in that area?
yeah.
That's true.
yeah.
It's fairly
I've also
Yeah.
made a
bigger
video on
resource
how
back in
to
that day.
like have a conlang keyboard, and it does not work with my Mac though.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's a Windows only thing nowadays.
thing about
Keyman
this-
used to work with
The
Mac,
thing
but it
about
doesn't anymore.
making keyboard layouts is that there's like two kinds of software for that. There's software that sits like as a layer on top of the operating system. That's things like AutoHotkey or Keyman. And the problem with those is they don't always work reliably. For instance, if you want to use your custom keyboard layout on the login screen, you're out of luck with those. For that, you actually need to make an actual keyboard layout in the native format of the system. For Windows, there's a tool that Microsoft released in 2013. There's never updated since. It somehow
That's
still
the best
works,
kind
I
of
think,
software.
on modern versions of Windows, so you can use that. That's the Microsoft Keyboard Layout Creator. On Linux, it's very easy because it's just a file. It's just a text file. I have a program that generates it from a like less horrible format. And it allows me to create this thing here. I'll show my keyboard layout real quick for the people that haven't seen it before.
Ooh.
And on Mac, I don't know.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
Unix system, so it might be similar, but I don't really know how to do it on
Hello?
Mac because again, I
Oh,
don't,
wow.
I don't use
Yeah,
Mac.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
So that's the
What
keyboard layout.
the bum?
nice. Oh, that's cool. That
Yeah,
sounds
it
so
has
much more
8
convenient than
layers.
what I've been doing.
Yep. I use the
my
menu
God.
key as a fifth level modifier.
That just
Oh,
reminded
okay.
me, when I was making the conlang showcase for Dufir, I didn't have like, I mean, I had an IPA keyboard, but I didn't have like anything to actually type with. So like, I
Mhm.
literally like copy and pasted like individual diacritics onto the vowels,
That's
Oh.
and then I
miserable.
pasted that into PowerPoint. But when I put it into PowerPoint, it changed the format. So I needed to change the format of each individual vowel. It was awful. Like,
Oh.
Ouch.
yeah. So when you see like a U with like a hook and like a grave accent or something, know the pain that I went through.
We will not forget your sacrifices.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so if you look at this thing, everything that's red is a dead key, so that's for diacritics. And you can stack as
Ah.
many of them because you can just keep repeating the thing.
Mm.
Like I can just type this if I want to. Hold on, that's not right. Where is it? I don't know where is it.
I've always wondered because I was like, do you have to, whenever you're typing your name, I'm like, do you have to copy paste those characters every time? But I see how
No,
it makes
I
so much
have
more
a
sense.
keyboard.
I do. I just
Yeah.
copy
For
and
some
paste his name
Discord.
whenever I want to type it.
Literally.
Okay, Discord isn't cooperating with that, so I'll show it in a proper program.
Like on the Apple keyboard, you could do this. But
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Properly.
yeah, that's
I love
convenient.
that functionality.
Yeah, no, that's also
But
helpful.
yeah, I need that, especially for languages like Ultra French, where there aren't even pre-composed characters for the things I need, because I need like
Yeah.
stuff like E with the combining dot below,
Yeah.
Yeah.
E with the Q combining dot below. So
Yeah. For my non-cursed
And
conlangs, I try to keep diacritics to a minimum usually. And so when I do use diacritics, honestly, what I do is when I'm typing out like actual text in the language, I do it on my iPhone where I could just hold the keyboard and have all the diacritics come up, and then I just take that,
Oh,
and then I
that's
copy
Yeah.
and paste that
Yeah.
later onto another document.
Oh, okay. I use Lexi logos. It's just like a keyboard
Yeah,
for the
same.
IPA I use on
Same.
mine.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I got to put it on my new computer. I had it on the old computer, but barely ever used it. But now I kind of want to put it on the new one and actually use it.
Wait, you have to put it on a computer. There's a non-browser version.
Wait, what are you talking about?
There's just lexilogos.com.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
it's a
never heard of
browser
that.
version.
I was talking about some other
Oh,
thing
okay.
that has a similar name. It was like a
That's what
download.
everyone else is talking about.
Oh,
I
wait a
just put
second.
it in the chat.
Yeah, let
It's
me
just
see this.
it's just an IPA keyboard, and you can like put it doesn't have everything, but it does have a couple like
Oh, wait.
shortcuts as well, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
Hang
Yeah.
on one sec.
I use ipa.typeit.org
That's what I was
/full.
gonna say.
I use this one,
I use this one.
just internationalphoneticalphabet.org, and if there's something that's not on this list, I'll just grab it from Wikipedia or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I usually go very guerrilla style. ipatypeit.org. Let's see.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
straight to
I've
the
used that one
point.
before too.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
IPA, type it.
I just copied from other cells on a spreadsheet where I already pasted it and just propagated it itself.
Yeah.
Oh, Gboard is the thing I was thinking of. The thing that you install.
Oh, Gboard. Oh.
Yeah,
yeah,
Gboard. It's meant for like Samsung and iPhones and stuff. But I found a way on my previous computer to get it incorporated as a keyboard on the actual computer.
Really?
And then it got glitchy. And
That's
then it
so
broke,
interesting.
And then I gave up on it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will say one thing: if someone can link me a actual detailed specification of how the Windows keyboard layout format, like the file format works, I can write a program that can probably generate it. That isn't the Microsoft thing that hardly works half of the time. But someone would have to link with a specification for that, and I'm not sure there is one knowing Microsoft.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
For
another
Linux,
question
it's easy.
earlier too. There was or at least a comment. Where was it? Let's see. Where was? Oh, it was Lilin Jazifa just saying, to me, the idea of winners really helped improve the quality, not to make things professional or streamlined, which feels more organic. The voting, especially. What did you guys think of the voting in the circus this time?
It scared me so
I think
much.
it made a lot of sense as for solving the problem last time.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's my opinion.
I
It's
have,
not perfect, but it solved the problem from last time.
Yeah.
I had like mixed feelings about it because like even though I made it, like a lot of others that I wanted to see like didn't make it, and I was like, well, I don't know. Like I guess in an ideal world I wish that we could see all of them, but obviously there's no time for that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of like being able to have all of them as part of a showcase thing. But I know that's not scalable.
Yeah.
I did see a couple people say like, oh, if less people have seen my video, then less people are going to vote for it. Which is true.
It is true. I tried to accommodate for that with the playlist being in a random order and everything.
The playlist, yeah. Like I don't know how much of that is surmountable, because I think it could be just an inevitable like side effect of not putting every video. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So it's good. It'll be probably a
of-
tweak in the system every time to try and get better and better at making
Probably.
it, like a more equitable source of videos that didn't get algorithmed, because not every video gets algorithmed, and some really good ones did not make it into the top 30. Yeah. So
I felt like oh no, you go.
A lot of my oh my god, sorry. Okay, so I was gonna say a lot of my friends and family were where like the initial attention of my video came from. Like I just
see.
sent it to like everyone. I was like, hey, I made this thing.
Vote for me, please.
I will say another problem is that the voting system was a bit scuffed as a whole, because the problem is that I need to find a way to make sure that people can't submit duplicate votes, because I had to filter some of them. That was a bit annoying to do, and I'm not sure I did it perfectly is the problem.
Yeah, a lot of them are very
I'm
obvious,
thinking,
though. Yeah.
Only thing I can think of, the only like obvious solution to the problem is require people to submit the votes on Discord. So everyone who wants to vote has to have a Discord account and has to join the server. And that's
Yeah.
You
it.
can't be
Because-
anonymous that way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's irrelevant because no one's gonna see that data, so who cares?
Well, that's true. That's true. Oh, you could do it to a bot. Right.
Yes,
Somehow,
I'm not
maybe.
accepting votes manually. Of course, it's going to be the bot that does that.
Yeah.
But the point is that I can tie it to a certain account because the thing is also I don't see another good way of doing it because any other like random website online you can easily circumvent by just using a
Mhm.
VPN.
Yeah.
Because like, the only way it can check that you're the same person, if you will, is by using your IP address.
Right. Were there a lot of people that like got like that tried to circumvent it, like
There
multiple
were
votes for
some
the same
very
thing?
obvious cases of someone just
Really?
voting themselves like 10 times. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awkward.
It was very obvious. What was I saying? And the thing is, there are like some websites let you sign in with Google. The problem is that is like an entire horrible process to set up. Like they require you to submit a video explaining what you want to use that for. It is so dumb. Like it's just red tape. I'm not doing sign in with Google. It's too annoying to set up. So the only thing I can think of is signing in with Discord because that's easy because well you just join the server and run a command that you can only run if you're on the server.
There
And it's
so
tied to
another possibility that like it's kind of like what Kat Misberg just commented. Have like a sort of just comparison system or something. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
just like thumbs up, like have two videos visible on a screen, and then like have like a thumbs up and a thumbs down or something next to each one, or like a star
the Tom
rating or
Scott,
something.
what is the best thing system?
We could set something up on Notadog that just gives you can click on it and it gives you two like we don't even expose the entire playlist or something until after
Yeah,
the
just
circus is
two
over.
random
And then you
ones
go
at
to
a
the
time.
website, grab
Mm.
two random videos that you can then watch and vote on.
Yeah.
This thing is the voting would
then-
still have to happen over Discord because otherwise we haven't solved the problem.
Yeah, that probably would be the only way to circumvent the views issue.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think. I don't know.
So sure, what we can do is I can set up a page in Notadog that just grabs two videos from the list and displays them side by side, and you can watch one or watch both or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Can
it'll
you
be
do
a
this
thing
an
of
infinite
seeing,
amount of times?
like the
Why not?
I don't know.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
well, I mean, if I did it like 500 times, and say I made I would never do that. But like say
You would never make
I got
yeah.
I would never do that.
They would
Like I
never.
get paired up with a different one. Like what's stopping me from every time I see it, just voting for
Well,
it?
you still
you
would
know?
only be able to vote once, I think. I don't know how that system would work exactly, but the thing is, if you only show
Right.
two videos, we do not have. I don't think, even with how many people watched all the CCC videos, I don't think there are enough people that would do that to cover all the languages in a meaningful manner. It's not like we have 1 million people
Right.
watching all
Yeah.
the videos.
True.
If that
True.
was the case, then that system would work, sure. But we
We
can't
probably
just
have a
show
lot more resources to
videos
make
and be
something
like,
that would work.
okay, you've seen 2 videos now. If you want to see the rest, wait until the video comes out. That's not how this is
Yeah.
gonna work. It's not tenable.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
also sort of no way to. I don't know if there's a way to gauge like if they've actually watched the 2 videos they were presented with, or if they're just refreshing.
Oh
until
no,
they
there's
get-
no way to do that. You can always claim that you've seen the video or not. No,
Yeah.
there's no good way to do that. No, short of tracking how long they've been like playing the video on the website and tracking how long
Right.
stuff's been on the website.
But like
That would
maybe they'd seen it
theoretically
already
work,
on
but that's
YouTube.
also a pain to set up, and you could just run it in the background. There's always a way
Yeah.
to circumvent that. It's not worth the effort, I'd say. Like if people want to vote for a submission that they haven't seen, that's their problem. Sure. Like, okay.
I will say, some of my family did like who know nothing about conlanging really like voted for mine. So like when you said that a bunch of people voted for the same one, I was like, are you talking about me right now? Like I didn't
My
vote for
family.
my
I don't
own,
remember
but
exactly who. There were a few cases of that, but that's also another reason why the system is problematic, because I can't distinguish the case of, oh, someone used a VPN and voted for themselves 10 times, or someone got all the friends to vote for them, which the latter one is
Yeah.
at least okay, I'd say, if they've watched the video.
Yeah,
Oh,
because they're
why
real
not?
votes
Sure.
still, you know.
That's
Like,
fine.
Yeah, they're real
A
votes.
valid vote from actual different people.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sure. That I don't have a problem with. But the problem is, how do I distinguish between the two in like a sane manner? Not
Oh
with the
yeah,
current
no, that makes
system.
sense.
So I think we'll just have to do this via Discord. And if you don't have a Discord account and you want to vote, sucks for you. I'm sorry. There is no good way that I can think of otherwise.
yeah,
Because we need to
it's
establish
always going to be a
main
challenge.
point is that we need to
Mhm.
have a one-to-one, like a bijection between every vote and an actual person.
Next conlang circus, Richard gets a tearful call from their grandmother. Sorry, I couldn't vote for
I
your
need to make a
conlang. I
Discord.
didn't have an
Oh
account.
no.
Can you help me verify my Discord
so
account?
sad.
How do I set up two-step verification?
You know what?
You don't
Next
So
time,
sad.
I'll create a PO box again, and everyone has to mail in their votes.
Oh, yeah.
Also-
Mail voting.
The mail-in
Also, I'm
voting.
really not
Oh,
used
And then I'll
classism,
do a
cost
live
postage.
stream counting all of the votes
Bias.
live.
It's
I'm
just
not
you
used
and a
to-
few guys in a warehouse
The
counting.
only way that would work is if someone like sent you the full legal ID ahead of time and mailed them specifically, like literally just how it is on an actual like election. You just send the actual mail
Yeah.
voting, and you have an actual ID on every single paper, so that someone can't just submit 10 of them, and that's not going to work for obvious reasons. So
I adore like every time an absurd suggestion for a system is announced, Eternal's like, well, let me analyze this. I can evaluate
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I mean,
I
also the
appreciate it.
issue with
No,
mail
it's
voting is that
still, I
it,
would like to point out why it's a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So once
it
you
incurs a
make sure
cost. So if
clear
you
what
can't
the
pay
problem
for
is,
stamps,
For someone
Oh,
like
then-
Agma who's
true.
trying to organize a thing of enormous scale, you are very good to have around.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Also,
Oh,
I'm
God.
not used to like people on the internet calling me by like real legal names. So when Rhea said my name just now, like I flinched. I was like, huh? Who?
Richard
what?
J. Dawkins the third.
Knee slapper just said there used to be 2 sample texts in the CC3. Now there's 2 CCC3 recap streams. That's strange. I know the first one is 2 seconds long.
It's 2 seconds long.
Well, yeah, no, it's one
There's
stream for
actually
each
3
translation.
CCC recap streams.
It's
I
one
think
stream
maybe
for each
this one still counts as
4?
part of the second one somehow. I don't know.
One
Mail
one comment that I had.
Yeah,
Oh,
mail-
yeah. Oh, good
Yes!
idea.
Only
literally cost peanuts.
We
All
could
right.
enlist
Yeah.
Dorian,
Let's do it.
make some pigeons, and then send one to
Yeah.
every person.
I feel like I have
Yeah.
a biased amount
Then
of
we have
power in this
someone else to
situation.
blame
You
if
do.
there are duplicate votes.
There you go.
Because then all
You have
of
to
the
learn.
pigeons will go to Dorian, and then they'll be able to tamper with the votes.
Yeah.
It's another issue.
Got
Yes.
Also, I just
Yeah,
wanted to mention
issue
Martinawa
pigeons
said
can't
that the
read.
CCC3 was a gateway for them into the conlang community. Very cool. I like it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Welcome to
My-
our shadow realm.
My gateway
Shadow.
My gateway into the conlanging community was Biblaridian's video, How Not to Make a Conlang.
Heh.
And I was like, I don't know how to make a conlang to begin with, but I'll watch this video on how not to do it, I guess. Like,
Oh,
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one was also like instrumental to me starting out because, I mean, in a weird way, it was like I know this guy obviously knows so much more about this than I likely ever will, but I still know, as someone who knows nothing about this, that these are stupid mistakes to be making. Just some of them, not all of them. But it's like, oh, I know that in principle. It's not just a language thing. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Thandian is carrying the community on his back, you know?
Yeah, Thandian.
Despite
Yeah,
being broken in a
absolutely.
dumpster somewhere.
Yeah, one of my favorite
You told me
moments is when I
same.
got Bibleridian to do a segment on Thandian in the Conlang iceberg, and he was like, "All right,
Yeah.
I'll talk about
That was
Thandian."
fun.
I'll talk about.
Didn't we say that maybe
Yeah.
Bib use Standian for the relay next year or something?
Oh yes, he did
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
he did say that.
And then
Oh, that's
Oh my God.
scary.
It's canon.
translations.
I live
Wait,
in
did
fear.
he?
But I thought
Wait.
Bibleridian deleted Thandian though, so he can't use it for.
There have
Well,
to be some
I'm
sort
sure
of-
he has a backup somewhere.
Came back
Or just
wrong.
enough knowledge to reconstruct it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Scarred in
don't.
his mind.
Did he or am I thinking of DJP? Because DJP said that he was going to use a really old lang.
Oh, it
Or
might
did
have
they
been.
both do that?
I might have been misremembering because that's both two conlangers that have horrible first languages. It might have been DJP.
I think it was DJP.
who was gonna do it in MegDivi. Yes, I might have misremembered. Yeah, I think it was
But
DJP who said he was
Thandian-
going to do it in MegDivi. Yeah, you're right.
Thandian really scared me
Same
because
thing.
it made me not want to make a language like with any features unless I've already seen that feature. Like there were many things that were very easily naturalistic, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, this is not something that's been done before.
Yeah.
It must not be natural. So
Yeah.
And that lang has done it worse.
Thandian in a hat.
Whenever
I
I
hope,
think that a language feature is a bit too insane to include, I remember that Old Irish exists.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
that's
gosh.
I tell people that
Anna
now. We've had that conversation many times, Eternal. It's like, oh, you think that's too unrealistic? Old Irish exists. Like that's
Old Irish.
that's pretty much all you need
My
to say.
favorite part of Old Irish grammar is how is everyone familiar with what a deponent verb is? If not, I'll explain it real quick. It's a class of verbs that occur in languages like Latin and Greek, which are verbs that have lost their active forms morphologically and are morphologically passive but active in meaning. That's the thing that just happened.
Uh-oh. I like
now,
the
Old Irish
response.
has those too, but then it went
that
along
actually-
and created new passives for deponent verbs. So Old Irish has verbs that are morphologically passive, and then went along and created new passive forms.
Yeah.
For those, so there's forms that are like doubly passive.
I think I did something similar in Dufir actually. I had what's it called? There wasn't an active passive there wasn't a morphological passive in the proto language, and there was an active form, and I believe what was it? I think an optative marker, but then over time the optative marker became a marker of agency, and then the marker of agency became the active voice, and then any verb that wasn't marked for the active voice was passive.
Yeah. Yep. Things like that can happen. That's why in a lot of the cursed languages that Eternal and I have done, we make the unmarked forms of things, really weird unmarked forms.
For instance,
yeah.
in Hyperpirate, the unmarked form is the future dual.
Yeah, future
Oh,
dual
boy.
is the Hyperpirate
yeah.
unmarked form.
Mind you also that
Of course.
Hyperpirate has a future, non-future distinction.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Of course.
I love that.
Delicious.
Future dual is the default.
My so I speak Buddy Maya, and I was reading an old grammatical description of Buddy Maya, which is I think the only publicly available description of the language. And in the paper, the guy the woman writing it, she identifies two different Buddy Maya's got a bunch of different verb classes, right? And she identifies like, hey, I think I've found here that in this verb class there's a past, present, future distinction, and then in this one there's like past perfective and imperfective as well, and then in this one it's just future, non-future, and it was like, whoa, this is
wow.
crazy.
That's
that there are different things distinguished like this in these different verb classes. Turns out, no, she just kind of misinterpreted when people were using the present tense instead of the future tense, and it was a whole thing because it's the only publicly available paper on the language.
no, yeah.
Rip.
It's like fully just rip, big rip.
That's
God.
rough.
That's horrific. Oh my god.
It's a shame. It's the one publicly available paper on the language, and it's like it was made in a hurry, and it's so many typos, and she mixes up an echidna and a bung error, and there's these two animals, and the word for each one is only mentioned like twice, and at one point they're mixed up. And
Oh,
it's
no.
like, well, hold
No.
on. Which one is the right one?
Oh
Which one do you
no.
actually mean?
Oh no.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
That's like the rage game version of a paper.
Except
like there's actual- There's a culture hinging on it too.
Yeah,
God.
this is. At the time, it was believed that the person she interviewed for the paper was the last speaker of the language, and it's just like, man, how did you do this?
Ouch. Yeah.
She made like tape recordings for the like she got tape recordings, and the guy that she did interview wasn't the last speaker, but he was the last speaker of a specific dialect, and not much is nowadays known about the dialect, and so people are like, hey, you made tape recordings, right, when you were making this very rushed sketch grammar. Do you have those? And she's like, no, I
Oh,
lost
no.
them.
No.
Ah.
It's like,
Oh my
God damn.
god.
Excuse me, Leone, please.
Yeah.
How
lost
badly can you
them?
fumble it?
You lost
Yeah.
them.
Literally the
Cat, I
worst
was thinking that
possible
too.
Oh.
cursed paper
did
circus.
Yeah.
Cursed
Yeah,
paper
literally.
circus
no.
winner.
Literally. That's how I feel about the Eastern Yavapai language.
I do
Only
love how
has
the,
one grammar book,
The
and it is just
Wikipedia page, the
obliterated.
Wikipedia,
Oh yeah.
the Wikipedia page for this language states that all speakers are over 65 years of age.
Oh,
Is this Buddy Meyer?
Body Maya?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wikipedia, the information for the speakers is informed by census data rather than the actual like knowledge that we have on the ground.
mm.
It was
see,
like,
I see.
according to this Wikipedia page, you're at least 65.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. No, there's 3 people who speak Buddy Meyer. It's me, Warren, and Godfrey.
Oh. Oh
I can't
my.
tell if this is real or not.
This is real.
Okay.
I have not told a lie this entire night. I swear to God. My dad fed it to the chef, and it's me, Warren, and Godfrey, and we're in it.
Forgot
We're
about
in
the
it for
dog
life.
and the sheriff.
Godfrey's a legend. Right,
Yeah.
age reveal. I am 66 years old.
Yeah.
I show my face often. You should have been able to see that I'm 66 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Handcrotch could never look younger.
That's what the
Graham
the
Handcrotch.
power of the bollard has given you eternal youth.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Eternal youth.
Exactly. It gave me eternal youth as well as grandiose delusions.
Because
I love that we
the
both...
Bermuda Triangle is right next to the Bahamas, where Bimini is, which is where the actual Fountain of Youth is. And since it's on the Antipode,
Whoa.
there's also a Fountain of Youth at the Bollard. It's all connected.
Whoa.
There you go.
Oh
And
my
I
god, the
think we all
antipode.
understand the significance of the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Moves on without elaborating further.
Everyone knows the meaning. Full stop. The end.
I love
Women are not real.
Graham Hancock.
I like someone in chat saying,
True.
someone in chat said, I'm looking up old Irish grammar, just skimming it, man, it really is as bad as you said. Yep, it is. It is.
I love that we
Oh.
both went for like a presentation in character as some like old dude with grandiose delusions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I was bullying a real man.
I was bullying a real man.
I've been bullying Graham Hancock on the internet for a long time. I've got a script for a documentary where I dress up like Graham Hancock and I go out into the desert where I grew up and I make up a conspiracy theory that Vikings were there first. And I've been working on it for years, and then this I had this idea for like a mini version of it, and I'm like, yes, Graham Handcrotch is coming out of the bag.
Oh man.
That's funny. Oh my god. I've been
Someone
making posters recently, you know, with like the little sort of tear off strip type things at the bottom or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the first one I made just has a photo of a pigeon. It says, "Have you seen this bird?" Now you have. And then
Yeah.
there's just different ways to like comment on him, like, "Oh, he's handsome," or like, "Where's he going in such a hurry?"
That's so
And
good.
the next one I'm gonna do
God.
is duck facts I just made up, and I'm excited for that.
Hell yes.
There you go.
My whole submission was language facts I just made up.
Yeah.
Good point.
There you go. What else could you ask for
Oh,
in
someone-
a first conlang circus?
Someone referenced my curse you, Noam Chomsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that bit. Man, it's been so long.
Fellow Arizonan Noam Chomsky. He wasn't born in Arizona, but he's lived in Arizona for a long time.
Good.
Got him.
The state's never recovered.
Yeah. Obliterated.
If you go out into the desert at night and turn over enough rocks, you might find some theories
Noam
on there.
Chomsky.
You might find Noam Chomsky under that rock.
I found him. A
It gives me the
couple
same
times.
like. It gives me the
sorry,
same vibe
my
as
bad, I
like
mixed that
Rene
up. I
Descartes.
meant Chomsky gnomes, a species found in the Arizona desert.
Got him. I will say we've gone on for almost 2.5 hours. now,
Yeah.
so we should probably
Yeah.
wrap things up. Let
Yep.
people make any final
That's
statements
true.
they'd like to make. I got some stuff I got to do tonight.
It's
So,
it's almost sunrise
Oh my
for
god.
me.
Jesus Christ.
Because over here it's also the like dead of summer, so
Yeah.
sunrise is
Yeah.
early.
It's noon
almost
here.
there.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say. I guess what's it called? First of all, great job, everyone. Like I really loved everyone's submissions here. Like it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And also it was great talking to you guys like the past 2.5 hours. One thing I wanted to say, like one additional thing I want to say about like the CCC, so like just reacting to and stuff is I got really happy when you guys compared it to Ithquil because that was my goal from the start. Like was just Goblin Ithquil.
Yeah.
Good.
Indeed, it is.
So I like a lot of my process involved reading like the Ithquil grammar, and like it's a lot deeper than you think it is. Like there's a lot more to it, like when you get into it. So
Yes, indeed.
I
Very
mean,
nice.
Ithquil already like the densest language I can fathom, I think.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I definitely couldn't fathom the depths before, but if it goes even deeper than that,
Right.
Goodness,
Like,
unfathomable,
yeah.
perhaps.
Literally, I've got
Yeah.
comments of people being like, "This is so much worse than Ithquil," and I'm like, "Whoa, hold on, whoa."
You're like, worse in what way?
No, literally. Like some people will say like
I
more complicated, and I'm like, maybe, but they're just totally different
I don't
things.
think that OAIA does not encode things like
No, it
like
doesn't.
Yeah,
Ithquil
it's
at
not
all.
related at all.
Exactly.
Well,
I'd
what's
say-
that comparison?
No,
What are you
honestly,
saying?
okay.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm like, what are we getting at?
What do you mean? It's not good as it's not
I
as
feel
good as Ithquil?
In some sense, it's like the antithesis of Ithquil because it's like complicated, but it does not specify like what you mean in a very coherent way. Whereas Ithquil
It's totally different.
specifies
Yeah.
like meaning in like the most clear way possible.
it's
Like,
Ithquil has a
won't.
reason to be complicated.
It's metaphorical.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. I will let you go.
Me or Agma?
Oh, I don't know. I jumped in.
Okay.
I think you just started talking. I don't think you
Interrupted
interrupted
the empty
anybody.
void.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interrupted the void.
I always
They
I
were
don't know. I always
speaking.
think I'm interrupting someone. I don't want to take up too much time.
That's me also.
Literally me.
Literally.
I'm just so happy. Like I've derived just so much joy from all of this. Like
Mm.
the whole
I-
process, the whole history, the whole thing. Like I've been thinking about entering since like the first year, but I haven't really had like a good concept or the time to pull one off, or anything in time, and then it just sort of passes me by. And I just kind of went for it this time, and
Hell yeah.
it turns out I
Very
made something
nice.
people really like.
There you
So
go.
Yeah.
Hell
When
yeah.
Yes,
when
indeed,
I
it was
watched
awesome.
when I watched Diplomacy, I watched the whole video and I was like, this first of all is great language, but also this person is just very funny and clever.
Aw.
I want to
Yeah.
hang out with this
Yeah.
person, and today I got to hang out with that person, and it kind
Hell
of rocked.
yeah.
There you go.
I agree.
And that goes for everyone here. I'm like, man, these people are
thank
indeed
you.
very clever and nice to be around.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I feel so special being invited in here.
Me too. Me too. It's really cool to like. Reiterating what I said earlier. It's just really cool to talk about conlangs with cool conlangers.
Yeah.
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 Heart emoji.
The claw.
I got to share the pain of budding my grammar with Agma Schwa. I got to bitch about
Yeah.
to bitch about Leone to Agma Schwa.
And
Oh
you
my
got
God.
to tell your emu story.
Yeah. You
Oh,
got
yeah,
that
that
totally
was-
that was a
true
highlight.
story.
Yeah.
It
I have
is a
one
true
about-
story, I'm telling you.
I have one about a seagull stuffed with oatmeal, but
Oh.
that can always wait.
Oh.
One time
Yeah.
a seagull
Also,
stole my
As
chicken
can the dog and the
nugget.
sheriff. That's a story for another day.
A seagull stole a chicken nugget I was eating, and I'm like, is that cannibalism?
Chickens will eat
Oh,
chicken
birds
on the
eat
floor
birds.
if you drop
Well,
it.
they're different.
They
birds,
will.
I guess. That's right.
Chickens eat their eggs.
Yeah.
True.
Oh.
Bird
To be fair, if I
tangents.
was
Bird tangent.
actually no, I'm not going to go with that thought.
To be fair, if I was a chicken, I would eat chicken eggs.
I'm just gonna hold that one. I'm just gonna keep that to myself. But I did have the thought that
That's a story for
I
another
think-
day.
I think like maybe just like as a suggestion for following years or something, the winner could help pick the translation text for the next conlang circus. That might be a fun thing that is free
Oh.
to offer.
Oh.
True. Very
There
true.
was some text recently that I was like, this would make a good translation text, but I don't remember what it is now.
I at the very least,
Also,
like I do
Quack-
want to continue the tradition of having a couple, like maybe even a third one. Like 3 possible.
Mm.
I
choices
liked
potentially.
having more than one.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
gives some
It
variety.
was
Yeah,
it was
It's not
nice
just
because
a
the B movie got
script.
so grating.
Yeah.
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 God,
Kaku
to this
asks,
day,
what
like,
are the names of all these people's channels? That's what
Oh
Kaku
yes.
asks.
Let's go around the circle as depicted on Agma's screen.
The line.
Yeah, the line.
Okay,
A
so I guess that
one-dimensional
means
circle.
I'm first. Like my channel is called Richard Holland. You could find my 2 conlang videos and also a couple of percussion related videos on there as well. I don't really post though. I'm not like a YouTuber, so yeah.
Or now.
You are now, son.
You're
I mean,
in,
I am
kid.
now, but I'm not like a regular YouTuber, you know? Like I don't do it like as my main thing or anything.
You are now. You've been
Yeah.
contractually obliged for the rest of your
You're
life.
in,
Okay, my
Oh, yeah.
bad, my bad.
I'm
Yeah.
make sure that when we're done with the stream, you put everyone's channels in the description.
Yeah, I will. I was going to do that before the OBS completely exploded on me to cause this whole mess. But yeah, I'll do that afterward now. All right. Anyway,
I guess I'm up now. My name's Raya, and I have Raya's Language Academy, which is on YouTube. I'm also oh god, I'm dying.
Oh no.
No, subscribe before I die. I have a few other channels that I'm thinking of piloting soon, but I won't set anything in stone about those. But yes, I am in Raya's Language Academy, and I teach about language, and I swear I'm gonna upload again very soon. I swear. It's gonna happen.
I thought that you were becoming hand crotch there.
Oh, I just had really bad acid just appear. It just came back up, and I'm like, oh no, now my vocal cords aren't functioning, but I guess I could be Graham Hancock. From Graham Hancock to everyone, I am glad that I was able to teach you free will.
God damn it. Beautiful.
Good.
I'm Dorian. My channel doesn't really have a branding at this point. It's just where I've been putting like bits here and there. I used to have several speed paints up, but I went back recently and was like, I don't want people coming over from my language or finding my 2018 art. But I mean, like, I'm not really a regular, but I might upload more. I'd like to do more showcases because I had fun with this, and now that I made one language, who's to say that I couldn't even make another?
When I saw your channel, I was like, I want more.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, now that I know there's demand, then I have people to please, and that always gets me working.
I will be personally mad.
Personally.
I can't disappoint. Shoot. But I mean, I also do like, I have a lot of hobbies, so maybe you'd get stuff about historical clothing reconstruction or anything else that crosses my path as well, or maybe just videos of my local pigeons.
Hit us with it. Hit us with it all.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Eternal,
I have to go, don't
who
I?
are you?
Oh, Eternal.
Well, the channel where most of my stuff ends up is called Agma Schwa. You might know that one.
Wait. Say that again. What was it? Schwagma ah?
Agama.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's hard to remember. Hard to remember.
I'm not gonna check that channel out. It sounds lame.
Yeah. It sounds like a kind of dumb channel, in my opinion. I never understood the appeal.
I never understood the appeal.
Yeah, I never understood.
I bet he dresses up on nude beaches
and tries to gross out the viewer. Oh my god.
So true. Good.
Yeah. Anyway. Alright, you can interrupt the void now, Zoe.
Okay.
Wait, the void's finished.
Okay. Well, okay, hold on. Tiny, did you want to say anything?
No, I don't think I've got anything. No. Well, thank you for having me. That's all I need.
Oh, okay. You can check out my channel, I guess. I don't know. It's called Zoe. And I make music sometimes, and I make languages sometimes. and I want to do that more. That's me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Woo! And then one comment from Arcane Arc says, "Hang, you inspired me to pursue linguistics in college." Oh shit. Okay. Hell yeah. I'm going to UMass Amherst in September for a double major in linguistics and psychology. Planning to pursue my PhD.
Nice.
Wow. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I
yes.
second that because
More linguistics.
I second
more
that
linguists.
because the conlang community inspired me to pursue linguistics, and Agma Schwa was one of my first exposures to the conlang community. So yeah, I second that.
Oh dang. Wow. Dang,
Oh.
thanks. Hell yeah. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
Shout out to Agma Schwa for hosting this thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that's me. Hi.
That's you. Shout out to you.
I got a
You did
shout
good.
out.
You helped everyone be happy.
Wow. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
You have brought folks like us into the spotlight, and we've really loved it. And now we're having a great time, and everything's better because of what you've done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. There will be more circus to come to ensure that more cursed
For better or for
linguistic
worse.
joy is spread to the world. There will be a majority cursed conlangs on the internet by 2027. That is our goal.
Is there not?
I mean, honestly,
yeah,
I
aren't there
haven't
already?
checked the number of non-cursed conlangs. I guess I can't really prove that it's not already. But well, that's our metaphorical non-measured goal. There you go. Yes, bring the joy of linguistics and creativity to the world. Yes, let it spread. Let it
They
all.
can't stop us.
Yes, they can't.
I wonder
stop
how long
us.
it's going to take
Yes.
for cursed conlangs to
cannot
be
stop us,
perceived
Hey
as the
Crush.
normal kind of conlang that you typically
Oh.
create.
That's
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking about that whenever, even when in the third
Yeah.
circus started. I was like, there's so many of them now. Like, where's the Overton window of cursedness at? Like, what's happening? Where will it go in the future? Only you can determine that future. It's up to you, soldiers. Oh God, is that a baby That's a pelican squab.
That's a pelican
For real.
A squabican.
It's
That's
squabican.
definitely something.
And then let's see. Before I finally sign out, let me see if what these other comments say. Shout out to Agama Shuya and his son Goosaba for existing.
For real, I agree.
There you go, Goosaba.
I think they meant goose aba.
Yeah, goose
You definitely
Abba.
sort of-
Goose.
Goose Abba.
Abba.
Bunch of Goose Abba. Oh dang, I'm definitely doing a postgrad in linguistics after I finish my current journalism major. Ooh, hell yeah. And then a question. Okay, this is the last question because we got to get out of here. How do you view alternate views on phonology? Like, say a phonology where it's not consonants and vowels, but like syllables and morae as the unit. Well, I mean, even if it is syllables and moraes, it's still, it's still a phonology. It doesn't make it like not a phonology just because of like the structures aren't necessarily structured, or at least if it's not the most convenient way to label it based on syllables, it's still like a phonology.
Well,
No, but I disagree because of what's it called? Babalingua's Seraphim had words as the phonology, and those words had no like actual meaning, and the way you put those words together made like lexemes.
True.
It was crazy.
True.
That was
very
like
true.
a conlang matryoshka.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
you could argue Hopjam is very similar in that sense, where it's like,
True.
where do you draw the line there?
Yeah, and that is something that
yeah.
many people should hopefully experiment more with in future circuses, because that is
that's
you bet I
find
am.
the line. You find the line where things get muddy, and start exploiting that. That'll be very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I think next year I'm gonna go hard.
Go hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a language. It's gonna be cursed.
Yes,
Really?
indeed. Whoa.
That's unlike you.
Yep.
It's not like me.
Oh yeah, and
Also,
then
I
also
did
shout
totally
out
fail
to
at keeping up
shout
the
out to
British accent
Averin who
this
had to
entire
leave. Shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
Babalingua who had to leave.
Shout out to them
Shout out to
too.
Stephen Kramer, creator of Franco Enochian, who could not make it to the stream. But yeah, there you go. Thank you to all of you for making some glorious stuff, and to the 100+ other people who made languages in general. Very amazing. I'll see you
Yeah.
next time for that. Hell yeah. Cool. Any other final statements from anyone, or that it?
That's all.
Goodbye.
There you go. Goodbye. I'll be in another live stream tomorrow on Schwa's channel for the 34 of you still watching. Catch me over on Schwa's channel, and then I'll put all of y'all's channels in the description of this later. So yeah.
All right.
Bird.
Bird. Is that like Australian schwa?
All right. Thanks everyone for coming.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming, everybody. As we'd say on the Minecraft server, unstreaming. See you later. Bye-bye.